streets come alive. That big city monster just opened his eyes. The hustle, the muscle, the chrome and the steel. Got what I want, baby, let's make that deal. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, talking about crime. Somebody just farted in a neon slime. Everybody's drowning in the neon slime. You see, I'm the survivor, and I know how it feels to be part of the nighttime where everything is real. The music, the violence, the sex, the sweet smell. I'm a stone cold believer in the pleasures of hell. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, feeling just fine. Been baptized in the river of the neon slime.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Molly Osborne.
And I'm Michael Tanner.
And today we're talking about 1982's Vice Squad.
Blink, motherfucker, and you die in the dark.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
I didn't say it, knocker. I don't know.
Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get cream. And more.
Okay, guys, so Vice Squad, another real laugher of a movie we got here. A real fun subject matter.
I think there are some funny parts in this movie.
Yeah.
From the patrons over at our Patreon. They have now voted two movies on the show, one being Miss 45 and the other being Vice Squad. So they're trying to tell us something, I guess.
Yeah, they like hard-hitting crime drama.
Yeah, because we also put to a vote for Summer Sequel Month, and as you'll see very soon, it ended up being Death Wish 2, which is the most interesting of all Death Wishes to pick.
Casey comes to L.A.
You could have had 3, 4, or 5, and the Grindbin patrons picked 2. And also, by the way, Tanner, that was heavily under your influence on the Patreon.
Because, hey, if you guys want to know L.A. history, pick movies that take place and were filmed in L.A., and I will bore you to fucking death with talk about L.A. So prepare for this one, because I got a lot of anecdotes about this movie.
So excited.
We went to
about
that restaurant.
from Death Wish 2? Yes, I will talk about that in the Death Wish 2 episode, which we'll probably get Molly on. You've never seen a Death Wish.
That's not true. I've seen the first one.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Only
gotta see
the first one?
Didn't you want to know like how it follows up? How Paul Kersey's story continues?
No.
Oh, that's right. His name was Kersey. I said his name was Kinsey. Whoa. Kinsey. Yeah.
No, today Vice Squad, the director of Vice Squad is Gary Sherman. He started working as a musician in his late teens, and then he would make music clips in short movies based on music in the 1960s.
Like soundboards?
I don't know what that is.
Like in the early 2000s when people made soundboards of like Cartman and stuff.
No. Yeah, he was the original soundboard artist
for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
With some high-end
You
art.
call like a pizza place and just hit the buttons on your
like
soundboard.
some Jerky Boys?
Yeah.
Chris Mann was heavily into that with his Arnold Schwarzenegger ones. So
Yes,
he was-
exactly.
Yeah, got a lot of those
We
calls.
should make a soundboard for Vice Squad.
Yeah, that would be great. So,
There's a high demand.
yeah, a lot of Wings quotes. It'll
Yeah.
be great. So no, he was a musician, but he was making like short videos around music, and there was no such thing as like music videos necessarily in like the mid 60s, I guess. Wasn't really a thing. So they were like, man, we should just like turn this into a whole song, make a video around it. And then, well, it was an industry that was around for a good 20 years, and now it's gone. So
Yeah.
fuck it. Then he directed a few TV commercials before his first feature, which is a documentary in 1966 called The Legend of Bo Diddley, which I'm sure is about Bo Diddley.
I'm willing to take that bet.
Yeah. Otherwise, that would be real weird.
Yeah.
1972, he directed his next movie, which is called Deathline, but then was bought and re-released as Raw Meat. It stars Donald Pleasance, and it's about a homeless guy that lives in a subway tube in London who takes victims back to his tube home and eats them. And it features a cameo by Christopher Lee, Grindbin All-Star Christopher Lee.
Oh.
Which I just
Does
found
Christopher
out.
Lee know he has a cameo in this movie? Or did he know? Or
Or
was he walking down the street?
Was he walking in the subway
Yeah.
and got
He was like,
kidnapped?
Donald,
Mind the gap.
He was going to visit his friend Donald, and they somehow put it on. Apparently, it's one of Guillermo del Toro's favorite movies.
Oh, we should watch it.
He screened it at the Lincoln Center in 2002.
Should do a Grindbin episode of it.
Maybe, yeah. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
What was it called? Raw
Raw
meat?
meat.
It's called Deathline, which is the original version that Del Toro is like, you gotta watch this, which is the one he screened in 2002. So I'm sure you can get a copy of it now. Before then, it was only called Raw Meat, which the director hated the fact that they took it, recut it, and called it that. So
Why don't you just call up Mr. Del Toro and ask him?
yeah, I'll give him a call. My old friend Benicio. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Guillermo. 1981, he made a movie called Dead and Buried. 1987, Wanted, Dead or Alive, which stars Rutger Hauer and Gene Simmons.
And Bon Jovi.
No, Gene Simmons though. I wonder.
Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer and Gene Simmons, not Bon Jovi. Although that would have been fitting. Do you think the song's in it?
It has to be. Maybe there's maybe there's like a Kiss cover.
Yeah. Before it was known as the Deadliest Catch theme song.
Yeah.
It was a song.
Oh, are there crabs in the movie?
There has to be.
Gene
right?
Simmons is in the movie.
Yeah.
There's crabs in that movie.
Funny fact: Wanted, Dead or Alive was always about crab fishing.
Oh,
So just so fitting that they made a TV show around it.
Those
Yeah.
Jersey boys.
Yeah,
they love their
Bon
crabs.
Jovi.
love their
Yeah.
crabs. Yeah,
Crab fishing. Hauling in trays.
Yeah,
trays of crabs.
all sorts of crabs. They don't come in the tray variety in Jersey, Tanner.
Oh, how do they
in
come?
They come in the crotch variety.
The crotch variety.
1988, he directed Poltergeist 3.
Whoa.
Is that Poltergeist in a skyscraper?
I don't know.
What? Is that a
You know
movie?
what? I
Yeah.
think it is. Yeah.
It's the-
I've not heard of this, but
Oh yeah, it's Tom Skerritt is the dad at this point.
Yeah.
That's the actually. I saw that one first. Before I saw the,
Wait,
but
what
I
if-
was also like 10 years old.
What
when I
if
saw
that
it.
new skyscraper movie is a secret remake?
Poltergeist 3.
I thought it was Die Hard in a skyscraper
It
with
is
an
Die Hard in a
amputee.
skyscraper.
What
Yeah,
if it's
but it's
Poltergeist
Poltergeist.
3 remake?
It's
Who
one-legged Die Hard.
stole The Rock's leg? The
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
the Poltergeist. It's
interesting.
in the TV.
Yeah.
Do you
Just
think?
the leg, though.
Do you think in that skyscraper movie we're gonna get some long, detailed story about how he lost his leg?
I'm sure it was in a war.
He's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it would be something good, like he
Like a
somehow
poltergeist.
got it squished between two buildings, or
Yeah.
like.
And now he's got a vendetta against buildings.
Exactly.
So really, you think he's going into that building to like save people?
But
he's
he-
going into that building to actually make sure the building is destroyed.
Yeah, he'd get his revenge.
Yeah.
Oh man, it may be in bad taste, but do you think it's like maybe a secret 9/11 thing? Like he survived 9/11 and just came out with like one less leg?
Maybe.
And misplaced anger. Instead
my
of being mad
God.
at international terrorism or the
He goes to the
military
source of it, which isn't he in Saudi Arabia or something in
Oh, I
that
think
movie?
it is. Yeah. I think it's in
getting
Dubai.
back.
tar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is he trying to stop the World Cup or
That's it.
could be good? Okay. Don't worry, we'll cut it all out. We won't. He still directs things from time to time. He's also done some TV movies. His last real movie was in 2006. It's just very small and nobody knows anything about it. It's called 39, a film by Carol McCain. That's it.
Did he change his name?
Nope. I don't know why it's called that.
Yeah. All right.
So I told you, nobody knows anything about it. Guys, one of the writers for this, Grindbin All-Star, Robert Vincent O'Neill. This is not a surprise. He wrote the movie Angel.
Oh, okay.
Because this is just Angel rough draft, I'd say. Because this
Is this before Angel?
is before Angel,
Oh.
and then because when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is just before Angel. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Angel's
really,
not, the name is not too far off from Princess.
it's true.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
Was
haven't seen Angel
originally a princess origin story? Because we don't get an
Interesting.
origin story for princess.
That's
but
true.
There's clearly a backstory there.
But Angel, you haven't seen it, Molly. It's
No.
I always say it's a trilogy, but it's actually like a quadrilogy. The Angel trilogy quadrilogy is about a Hollywood hooker who's a schoolgirl by day, hooker by night, and then there's like a serial killer that preys on hookers on Hollywood Boulevard. So
Doesn't sound very different.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing,
Okay.
but instead of an angry pimp, it's a serial killer.
Okay.
Who sucks eggs.
Yeah.
And there is a reference to sucking eggs in this movie. So
Oh, just
interesting.
like in
and
Rescuers
Snoopy.
Down Under.
Oh,
Does Rescuers
I'm
Down
sorry,
Under have an
what?
egg-sucking reference?
It does, yeah.
There's a part in a Disney children's movie where somebody says, "Why don't you go suck an egg?"
It's a lizard. I think her name's Joanna.
And she's
Joanna the lizard says, "Why don't you go suck
No,
some
but
eggs?"
Joanna the lizard sucks an egg.
and do they make fun of her?
It's the eagle. There's like a golden eagle that,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're
We've
trying
all
to save
seen
it.
Rescuers Down Under.
Okay,
We know the plot, Molly.
But there's a part where the lizard,
sucks on the golden egg.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I swear. Maybe. I don't swear.
I swear maybe.
I might have dreamt
I'm
it.
pretty sure there's a part where Joanna sucks on one of the eagle's eggs.
Who does the voice of Joanna the lizard in Rescuers Down Under?
I don't know.
I think it's Phyllis Diller. I'm
Oh,
gonna
maybe
say that.
you might be
my
right.
God.
You might
so
be
you're
right.
telling me as a child I listened to Phil Stiller sucking an egg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That was some ASMR shit right there.
That is. Huh. Yes, we all remember the infamous egg sucking scene in Rescuers Down Under.
I swear.
I'm going to find the gift for that one, right?
There's gotta
If not,
be.
I'll make it.
Because they replaced it, definitely there, because they replaced the eggs with rocks. And so it tries to eat or suck on the eggs, but then it bites down and it's a rock and it breaks her teeth.
So when you're saying suck on the eggs, you really mean the lizard is trying to eat the eggs,
Well,
right? But just
in a
the-
way.
Well, you got to have some foreplay.
Yeah.
So the second writer of this movie, Kenneth Peters, just this and one episode of the show Policewoman, and he's the, quote, franchise writer on a show called Halo Nightfall, which is based on the Halo video game.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's weird because I hadn't heard of it until just like last week when another podcast was talking about it. How it's the Forgotten Halo series.
Apparently it's written by this dude.
That is very bizarre because Steven Spielberg is doing a big budget Halo series.
Oh, he's
And
actually doing it?
Yeah,
I've
he's
been
actually
hearing
doing
about
it.
that for a long time.
Yeah.
And this was like this one we're referring to was on like PlayStation Network or something like. Well, it wouldn't have been PlayStation Network because it's a Microsoft property, but it was on some like streaming service that nobody had, so nobody watched that show. So there you go.
Writer number 3, Sandy Howard, mostly known as a producer. He only has 5 writing credits, but 39 producing. He started his career out directing the Howdy Doody show. And I was like, do you think that's where Ramrod got his inspiration?
Yeah.
Or?
Shit. Yep.
Now it all makes sense, right? And then he also directed Night Court and was the producer on that show. So,
Excellent body of work.
yeah.
Is
So-
that the show that there's no physical copy in existence anymore?
Night
Night
Court?
Court? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
No,
I've
what?
heard that. Like,
She's
it was
talking-
never
yeah.
released on DVD.
Oh,
and
because I'm like, it's in
some-
syndication. I just saw it like 2 nights ago.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I've heard that like they lost a bunch of the episodes in
Holy
a
shit.
fire or something,
Oh.
and it was never put on DVD. So some of it is just gone forever.
See, and here I am just waiting for my DVD copy of Bill Cosby Mysteries. But can't seem to find that anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Probably in
mysteriously
Canada.
lost in a fire.
So no, that's it for the crew. The cast, though, we get into the lady who plays Princess, Season Hubley, 52 credits, lots and lots of TV in the 70s. She was in a movie in 1973 with Rod Steiger and Jeff Bridges called Lolly Madonna XXX, which is not at all what the description sounds like. In the early 1970s, a young woman passing through rural Tennessee unintentionally gets caught in a feud between 2 local neighboring clans, the Feathers and the Gutshalls.
Huh.
Okay.
So where's the name Lolly Madonna XXX come in to play?
Well, her name is Lolly Madonna.
Yeah.
Where's the XXX?
I don't know. You'll just have
Like
to
maybe
watch
a
it.
Vin
Yeah.
Diesel type of thing? Or?
Oh, prequel.
I was thinking, you know how there's the 3 X's on like barrels of root beer or whatever? Like
Oh, there we go.
Moonshine.
She was married to Kurt Russell in 1979.
Yeah.
And then in 1979, she was in a movie called Hardcore, which was
Classic.
directed by Paul Schrader, a
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
here on the Grindbin. We've talked about Paul Schrader probably more than most of the Grindbin directors for his infamous script for Raging Bull, with that scene that one of our Grindbin All-Stars got cut out of where she got pummeled by Robert De Niro when she was a waitress. It's real good stuff.
Good times.
It's like, you need to make him even more unlikable. Have him pummel a waitress.
Now, is Hardcore any good? Because it's George C. Scott, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
Hardcore was nominated for multiple... Yes, it's George C. Scott. Let me give you the description of it. A conservative Midwest businessman ventures into the sordid underworld of pornography in California to look for his runaway teenage daughter, who is making porno films in California's porno pits.
Yeah. It's
So-
like 8mm without Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's like Rod Steiger, or I'm sorry, George C. Scott in like overalls going around going like, "What's this porn?" It's really, look up the pictures. I was very confused. Like, huh? See, like he didn't even like get off a plane. Like he got in his pickup truck and just drove to California.
And he
Like-
drove his tractor
Yes.
into the San Fernando Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, I was asking where his daughter was. No, it was before the Razzies that got nominated for like worst performance, worst picture. It was called like The Stinkers or something.
Oh.
Yeah. So, 1981, she was in Escape from New York because she was married to Kurt Russell. She was the girl in Chock full of nuts. That was it.
I own that movie. Do not
No.
have any memory of what that could even be.
Nope. Neither did I. I was like, I've only seen it a few times, and that doesn't ring a bell. So, Susan Hubley, everybody. When this movie was being made, she was getting a divorce. So, didn't work out. They did have a son, though.
Oh.
Boston Russell, who is their son.
Is he a guy? Does he do a thing?
I don't know.
Huh.
I just saw that was his name.
He's no Kate Hudson.
Yeah.
No.
Or that guy, they have another, Kurt Russell has another son who's an actor.
Yeah.
He was in Black Mirror.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
maybe
was
that
in
was
Black
him.
Mirror and some other thing we saw. I forget what it was. Yeah, look him up. She did a lot of TV movies after this and lots of B movies, and then stopped acting in 1999.
Yeah, she looks like kind of a poor man's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, I thought the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's kind of, there's some kind of True Lies kind of crossover as far as like their look.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Trading Spaces, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Like Streetwalker, kind of blue eyeshadow
Yeah.
looking thing.
No, I could see that for sure. If you couldn't get Jamie Lee Curtis, you'd get Season. So.
But apparently you could get Jamie Lee Curtis. That's why Season was only in TV movies.
Yeah. She was like, oh, no, I'm available. It's fine. It's fine. Gary Swanson, who plays Walsh, 46 credits, lots of TV through the 70s. Of course, this was his first movie. 1982, Making Love, directed by Arthur Hiller.
Yeah.
The famous Arthur Hiller of See No Evil, Hear No Evil fame. And The Babe, everybody's favorite
Oh.
Babe Ruth movie with John Goodman.
It is my favorite John Goodman Babe Ruth movie. Hands down.
Hands down. I remember as a kid, I had like a poster for that I got for free somewhere.
Probably at a video
And I
store.
remember hanging it up and being like, actually, I kind of hated this movie. 1986, he's a movie called Shadows on the Wall. I only mention that because it stars him and Wilford Brimley.
Aw, your boy.
It's
Yep.
literally just the two of them talking in a very dark room.
Yep. That's it. There's like no information, no poster, anything. It's just the only cast is just him and Wilford, and it's directed by somebody who's, done nothing. I was like, maybe we'll track down a copy of that.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do,
Do a
Todd.
mini bin.
1986, he's in a movie called Witchfire, which has Grindbin All-Star Shelley Winters in it, which I'm not going to watch. 1990, The Guardian, directed by William Friedkin, famous for Blue Chips, Jade, and 2006's Bug.
I like Bug a lot.
I didn't see it.
It was like a horror movie with Ashley Judd.
And
Oh, right,
Michael
right.
Shannon and
Yeah.
Harry Connick Jr. Saw that in the theater.
Yep. He has some great movies to his credit, including Blue Chips and Jade.
Yep. Nothing else.
Nope. 1987, Stranded. I'm sorry, I think it's Stranded. I may have wrote it down wrong. It's an alien abduction movie I've never heard of.
Oh, cool.
Because I usually like to watch alien abduction movies.
There's not a lot.
I know. That's why I was like, wait, I haven't heard of this one. Love Communion, right?
Love Fire in the Sky.
I
Fire in the
like
Sky, see,
I
that
like
one-
the end of Fire in the Sky.
I couldn't
That
get
is-
over...
that part at the end is pretty freaky. The whole abduction
The
part.
abduction part's great, but the rest of it, I could
kinda
not get
slow.
over. What's his name from Terminator wearing
Robert
that?
Patrick.
Yeah, Robert Patrick wearing that wig.
That
Oh,
mullet.
yeah.
He's got
Yeah,
a mullet.
I was
yeah.
like,
right?
nah, that is can't do it. Every time I'd see him on screen, I'm like, it's not working, man. Like, why
Yeah,
would they give him
that's
that?
true.
It's obviously a wig or something, right? And he's got like a trucker hat on, and it's coming out the bottom. It's like, just give him a
I
crew
feel
cut,
like
you
that
know?
movie envisioned the final scene first, and they're like, how do we make a movie around this? Because there's so much thought and care put into the special effects for that final scene that isn't in the rest of the movie. You know? So,
and we all know Communion. I mean, that's only good because Christopher Walken's taking that
out
movie
of his mind.
He's taking it for a walk.
I love it more because of Chris Mann's impression of Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah, are you old? Yeah. Love it. One day that'll be on the Grindbin. I think that'll be like a Patreon only episode, just because a lot of people on the Patreon are always like, "Could you please do that movie?" And it's like, it doesn't really fit. We'll do that one as a fun one. Yeah. So, and then 1999, he was in The Bone Collector. So that was like a movie.
Doctor or something. It's weird. Like, this was really his only leading role, right?
Yes, but he is like a very well-respected actor. He works with the actor studio, and he trained like a whole number of like big name actors over there. He's been a long-time collaborator with them. He was good in this movie. I thought.
He's real good.
Like, I thought he was, give a great performance. I was surprised this was his first movie. Same with our next actor, which is Wings Hauser, who plays Ramrod. Maybe the best name for a character in a Grindbin movie.
Yes.
True. We thought about renaming our cat Ramrod.
Yeah, just today.
Yeah.
Wings, the father of Cole Hauser from Chronicles of Riddick fame. I was trying to tell Molly today, I'm like, yeah, he's Cole Hauser's dad. You know Cole Hauser? She's like, no. Like, you ever seen Pitch Black? No. All right, well, I don't have any other references, but he was in that. He's in stuff, right?
Cole or Wings?
Cole?
I don't think Cole's in anything else.
Really?
Not that I care about.
I think he's like kind of like a Treat Williams, you know? He's like a real treat when he shows up in a movie, and you're like, oh, all right. But other than that,
don't say that about Treat Williams, please.
You're not a fan of The Substitute? The ones he was in?
No, I mean, don't bring Treat Williams down to a Cole Hauser level.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
No, Treat's probably more like a Wings, because Wings, 114 credits. Yikes. This guy is prolific. When I'm going to read... So 114 credits, I'm going to just read you like 2 years of his career, and there's just like a dozen movies. It's crazy how many things. And not like second build, starring. This was his first movie. And he got his nickname Wings, by the way, playing football. Because he was a wingback, which is a position I've never heard of.
I thought maybe it was a birth defect.
Like, he actually
I thought
has
it was
a
a
wing.
mutation. I thought he was an X-Man.
Yeah. No, because he's a wingback, which is...
I don't know sports at all, but that sounds made up. I don't
like,
trust that at all.
You know, I played Madden, and I never remember somebody playing wingback. So,
Is that a guy who just sits on the bench?
Maybe. They said he would have been pro, but he had that injury. It fucked up his knee, and then he became
he's
an
like
actor.
Unbreakable.
Yeah. He started acting in 1966 with TV shows. This was one of his first major roles. He went on to become a B-movie legend, is what I write. 1983, Deadly Force. 1984, Mutant. 1986, JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. It's directed by and starring Richard Pryor.
I was actually really shocked that was so late. I had always pictured that movie as being late 70s, not mid 80s.
Yeah, 1986.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Is it any good or?
No, it's not good.
I didn't.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's like it seems very typical of the time, but it's not good.
1986, Hostage. 1987, No Safe Haven. 1988, Dead Man Walking. 1988, Death Street USA, which is him and Bo Hopkins. Nope. 1988, this is my favorite. We'll just end on this. The Carpenter, which you got to look up the poster for this.
Is it about Jesus?
It's a crazy murderous carpenter, and Wings Hauser is like holding like a big drill or something, going like The story is that a mad woman and her cheating husband hire men to fix up their new house. A mysterious carpenter, Ed, becomes her guardian angel, but he's actually an executed killer whose spirit has returned to finish the dream house he once started.
Wow.
Wings Hauser is the
Carpenter.
carpenter. Yeah. It's actually a Jesus origin story.
Yeah. I mean, it still sounds like Jesus.
Yeah. Famous executed killer Jesus.
He was executed.
He was
I feel
executed.
I think
yeah.
half of this is right.
This could happen.
Yeah, he is in tons and tons of stuff.
Two things.
Yeah.
Two things about Wings that I looked up that I thought were very interesting. One is that Wings sings the theme song of this movie.
What?
Yes, he does. That
Yes.
neon.
Wow.
It's like neon garbage or
slime?
something. Neon slime. Yes, Wings sings it.
Wings sings it.
'Cause
And he
he-
actually had a recording career
Yes.
in the 70s.
Whoa.
Under a weird fake name.
Yeah, but
they should have
Wings-
gotten that singer Wing.
I think they should have had Winger.
Or he would have been in the band Wings.
Or in the band Wings. Yeah.
Here's a quote from him on playing Ramrod.
Oh.
Okay. He says, interesting thing about that role, I didn't prepare for it. I was doing the soap opera Young and the Restless in 1973 and dying to get out of it. I've been on it for about 3.5 years. We were shooting that during the day, and all night long I would shoot Vice Squad. I was so tired and I didn't have any social graces, so I just let go.
Oh.
That's good.
Yeah.
And he turned that into an entire career. So
Wow.
basically, what we're getting in this movie is a sleepy Wings Hauser just not giving a fuck, being like, anything
going for
but
it.
Young and the Restless, you know?
Yeah.
Although I have to say that, like, although I feel he's kind of miscast because he's a little too, like,
He's a little like clean looking.
yeah, he's like baby face looking
Yeah.
Wings Hauser who's playing a murderous, crazy pimp.
I think that's what works.
But he does do a good job.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
actually legit thought he was great in this movie. And it's even funnier to learn that he come off like 12 hours of Young and the Restless and then do this movie. It's like they just wake him up before a take, you know, and he just what do I got to do?
His goal was to get it done in one take.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I'm just going to go fucking crazy.
He's like, look, I already brought a coat hanger. I'm ready. Okay? Here's some cameos, guys, before we get... Oh, wait, Tanner, you had
the
one
other
more wing fact.
is he wrote the original, I would say, treatment for the movie Uncommon Valor. Which is one of
Really?
which is one of the best return to Nom 80s movies.
Huh.
He wrote the original story that got turned into the screenplay. So
I did not know that.
yeah, it was I thought it was pretty neat. And it was weird to me that he also is not in that movie. Because this is I think this is after Vice Squad.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, wait, he didn't get to be in the movie.
He's like, I'm not being in that shit. I got the Carpenter. Come on. No, if you look up Wings Hauser, like, almost all his pictures on IMDb are from Murder, She Wrote. I was like, oh, is he like a regular? No. Just like throughout the show, he played like 4 different characters on 4 different
Wow.
seasons. I was like, what? So yeah, he was a big Murder, She Wrote day player. Guys, here's some cameos. One of them, Cheryl Smith, Grindbin All-Star from the Pom Pom Girls. And also Swinging Cheerleaders, which we haven't done yet, but we probably will at some point. It's a Jack Hill movie. And she was in Revenge of the Cheerleaders, which we have not done. And probably won't. Fred Berry, though, as the Sugar Pimp. Fred
Yeah.
Berry, best known as Rerun on What's Happening. Yep, he's in this movie.
Yep. For no real reason.
Nope.
Nope. But
Nope.
God damn it, I love that Rerun is in this movie.
It is an interesting choice for Rerun. I was like, that guy looks so familiar.
See, I did not like recognize him, and I saw that it was like, oh yeah, cameo by Fred Berry. It's like I did not know who that was. So to look at it, I was like, it's like fucking Rerun. But he does have one of the most beautiful intro shots of any movie, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
we can get to that, but god
So-
damn, it's a beautiful scene.
Hold on. In the credits, they say, and special cameo by...
Yeah, it's like in special appearance
Berry?
by Fred Berry. Like he is given his own like.
Could you
special
imagine
thing.
like a Fred Berry fan in the like in the audience being like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get to see Rerun."
That's the whole reason they came.
Yeah, and then they just see the parties in. They're like, "Man, they did him wrong, man. What the fuck?"
They did Rerun wrong?
So some trivia for this. Apparently, Martin Scorsese loves this movie.
Yeah.
And he had to defend it to multiple people that were like, it's too gross and too violent. Because at the time for 1982, this was apparently just like top of the top. Couldn't
Yeah.
allow it in the theater. Which I'm watching it today going like, it's not that bad.
No, that's. I was really surprised that was the reaction to it because it didn't. It's not. It's not that graphic. It's not that.
I mean, it's very disturbing in parts because there are
Yes.
points when it gets like borderline up to a rape, and I'm like, please don't.
There's
But
a
then
lot
it-
more that's implied
Yeah,
too
yeah.
than they actually show.
Which is better.
Yeah.
Don't show it.
But
Yeah.
but I'm also like, am I desensitized due to this podcast? Where I'm just like, I'm like, that's nothing. That's like that.
No, because I kept thinking like, no, I've seen
I've seen
like
way worse.
Yeah, and
Like,
modern,
even from that period, and even before, I've seen way worse.
But did this have like a wider release that maybe it was?
No. This was like, well, I think it did okay actually. I think it made quite a bit
So
of money.
maybe people were seeing this movie that wouldn't normally see this kind of movie.
Yes, because like apparently it was well received, but people were like, it's too graphic and salacious.
Right.
So I mean, but like if you compare it to like Hereditary today, I would say
Well,
like,
today,
well,
yeah.
Hereditary's got some fucked up stuff in it,
Yeah.
and it's more violent than this movie, and the subject matter is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine if that came out in 1982.
Oh, people will lose their minds.
Yeah, so this wasn't that bad. I've always heard that it was like way over the top. Violent,
yeah, I was
grindhouse.
prepared. I actually warned my wife. I was like, "Hey, I'm watching this movie. I don't know if you want to watch it with me. It's called Vice Squad. I hear it's crazy. There's probably going to be some like rapes in it. I don't know." And she's like, I don't want to watch that."
And
but
then
at the end, I was like, "Oh, you could have watched that. You would have been."
Mike
fine."
told me nothing about this movie.
Nope. I was just like,
No
huh?
warnings
That's the way
whatsoever.
to do
Going
it.
blind.
Ambush your loved one.
Yep. Did you run into the bedroom later and go, there was no rapes? There was no rapes. To play Princess, Season Hubley spent nights researching the lives of prostitutes and the locations they frequented. So what do you think she did? Just pulled up to Hollywood Boulevard? She's like, so what's it like?
She just went outside.
Yeah. Yeah, she just walked out on Hollywood Boulevard and goes, so what's it like being a hooker, you know? Is it fun?
Well, her character, though, was kind of like both, right? Like she had like a different persona by day.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is kind of just like Angel in that she does have two personas, but it doesn't make sense.
No.
It is. Yeah, there's a big backstory that we are not privy to,
Right.
which makes it a lot of stuff kind of confusing.
And there's this weird like hooker with a heart of gold thing throughout the whole movie where
Yeah.
you're like, what?
But all the hookers have hearts of gold in this movie.
Yeah,
It's
but
true.
like the stuff with Princess, I'm like, okay, like we'll get to it
Yeah,
in the movie,
yeah.
but I'm like, all right, we don't need that much sympathy. Like, it's fine. She's fine. We don't need to like go over the top and being like, no, she's just really helping people. Like, no, she's
a good person.
She's a prostitute.
It's hooking.
I mean, she goes where the money is, okay? She's not picking people because of, like if that was her whole thing, is like, oh, no. Not just regular. It's got to be a real special one. Like,
It's got to be someone who really needs me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone who really needs a special attention that I
Yes.
can provide.
She's like a Jiminy Cricket of prostitutes, you know?
I like that as a pitch. Let's do it. Jiminy Cricket of prostitutes.
Disney? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. They made Pretty Woman.
Oh, they did, right?
Yeah.
Ramrod's apartment and the police station were the only sets for this movie. Everything else was on location.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've got a lot to say.
Let's see.
A lot to say about
Hey,
those locations.
Tanner Pick, he loves LA movies.
We'll get to
Absolutely
one
loves it.
pretty quick off the bat.
Well, a lot of Hollywood Boulevard, which is everybody in this table's favorite street.
Ugh.
When this movie was submitted for classification in the UK, they said you got to cut out 6 minutes to get an X rating.
Wow. Huh. Really?
And yes, see, that's again,
Huh.
I was like, it's
Okay.
not. What do you think did it?
I actually don't even recall too much nudity in this movie.
No, there's
I don't
only
think
like
there's-
one. There's
yeah.
one scene with Princess, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like barely any
And
nudity.
it's like side boob.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet it's the
Rerun?
scene with Ginger. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. That's one of the best parts. No, I'm just kidding.
Fine. Yes.
Okay, guys, so we get into the movie. There's this disclaimer text that says, this was made with the cooperation of the Hollywood
Oh,
Police
yeah.
Department, and these stories are true. I'm like, okay.
Thank you, Dragnet.
Here we go. Here we show Hollywood Boulevard. Ladies of the night,
Oh yeah.
homeless people, a guy being arrested with a cat on a leash.
Yeah, which reminded me of this guy in San Francisco who's kind of like a local celebrity that walks around with a dog, the cat on its back, with a rat on the cat's back.
I've seen that somewhere.
He's a real guy.
Yeah?
He's
Yeah.
a local celebrity, beloved celebrity in San Francisco.
Yeah.
The dog, cat,
you know
rat
what?
man.
I think that was actually
Dog, cat,
on
rat man.
an episode of Parks and Rec.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the guy talked about how he just kept like a pocket of mice because they kept getting eaten. And he just replaced them.
What was he called?
Dog, cat, rat man.
Huh.
Yeah.
Then we have a guy with a chihuahua and a sombrero and glasses.
Yeah.
So the original Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Some leather bikers, which
Yep.
will come into play later.
Some Leathermen
Yep.
looking fierce.
Leatherman. Some nudie magazines being sold.
Yeah.
Which I was like, people actually buy those?
Yeah,
I
1982.
just thought those were just like in there. And they're just
I thought they just magically appeared in forests.
That's what exactly. When you're a child, somehow you go into the woods and you find a porno bag. Tanner, I'm sure you as a child experienced the same thing.
I found a torn out page of a not even like a porno video like catalog, and I savored that torn out page for a good from 12 to probably 13.
So people don't girls don't believe men. Like women don't believe men our age when we tell them that we used to find porn in woods and parks.
Oh yeah, you'd
as
find
a kid.
it stashed.
That's for some reason.
I remember finding stuff when I was a kid.
It's like for some reason as a boy you would say, "Let's go find porn," and for some reason you would
Usually-
go to a park.
Whoever said, "Hey, let's go into the woods and just find some porn," they're the person who put the porn
That's
there
true. Right?
and just wanted to show it. to you.
I remember finding it with a friend, but it was a complete accident. We just found it in the woods behind my house.
Look, I'm telling you, when I was a kid, we'd be like, "Let's go down to school," and then we'd be playing around, and then you'd be like, "Oh, what's this?" And you'd like dig up some dirt,
Yeah.
and there'd be like a porn.
Yeah.
And you're like,
What's this? I've just found under this pile of dirt. Oh, it's some porno. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. When I look at that, I feel a certain way. Do you feel a certain way, Billy? When you look at that, do you feel a certain way? Like, yeah, I know there's, you might not, I'm not
So you're
judging.
telling
If
me-
you look at this and you feel a certain way, we can feel a certain way together. I'm just saying.
so you're telling me that my friends at that age were trying to get me to go look at the porn they'd stash?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I was like, who put it there? Like, it was some
Porn
sort
fairy.
of like porn Santa? Yeah, porn fairy. They would just leave it for children to find?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes, you got to learn someday, kid.
By porn
Yeah.
fairy, creepy uncle.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Larry Flint himself.
Now, do you ever think they caught
He'd
like a
roll
guy?
into the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think? Yeah, Larry Flint had
this porno here for you.
he had an army of guys that would
Yeah.
go to schools
A
and
squad.
just make sure they get the hustler on there. We want them to know what they got to buy one day.
the cartoons.
Do you think they ever caught any guy like planting porn at a school or something like? Because man, it's just weird.
That's a weird thing.
So even in your small towns, guys,
Yes.
you would, huh?
yeah.
Weird. So then there's just I just write this is just Hollywood Boulevard
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, it's not that much different.
There's a girl dressed as Columbia from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yeah.
That we see, and I was like, oh yeah, Columbia.
It's pretty much the same
Yeah,
now.
it's just
There's
exactly
more
the same.
Chipotle's
There's
now.
more
Yeah.
Midwesterners wandering around.
Yeah.
Oh God, do you ever go like see them with the map out or
Oh
anything?
Jesus, yeah.
Like
if I go
the
to something
fanny
at
pack?
the Egyptian, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh,
yeah.
get the fuck out of here,
You're like
people.
it's too late. It's 9:00. You got to get off this street, man. Go find your hotel. Like not too much longer. You know.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is walk around Hollywood Boulevard at night, not knowing where you're going.
Yeah, definitely.
Because oh man, you're gonna be buying about 20 CDs before you leave that place. So that's when the song that we've been playing is sung over the credits by
Yeah.
Wings Hauser.
Mr.
himself.
Wings.
Yep.
And he sings like he's a guy doing a Tom Waits impression
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
poorly.
So then we cut to Princess and her daughter, and she's like getting her daughter ready for the day.
And yeah, because it's daytime now, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, remember that. It's daytime now. She's
Yeah.
getting their daughter ready, and the daughter has lines that are all ADR'd. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because her
yeah.
back is turned.
yeah, her
when
back
she's
is
doing-
turned, and it is
yeah.
clearly an adult doing a child
yeah,
voice.
Yeah.
Because it's like, "Mommy, I love you."
Very strange. Yeah, so we meet this woman, and we don't have any context. She just looks like a businesswoman, like a
Yeah.
regular lady.
Funny fact, though, the voice was done by Wings.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes
Oh.
sense.
He did the
He's
child
like,
voice.
hey, I'm recording the theme song. Do you want me to do the kid's voice too?
Yeah, Wings. While you're in the booth, can you give us a 8-year-old girl?
I'll try my best.
Perfect.
Mommy, don't go. I love you, Mommy.
So they're getting ready to leave. Yeah, she's just like a regular business lady, right?
Yeah. She was like, her daughter's going to San Diego to spend time with her grandmother.
And some lady picks her up. Is it like a friend or like
Sitter
a
or-
maid or a sitter or something?
I don't want to sound racist,
No, neither do I.
but
That's
it is
why.
a black woman. And this is a white, the princess is a white businessy looking woman.
And she
the way
yells at her when she comes over.
Yeah, and the way she interacts with her It doesn't seem like a friend. It seems like this is an employee.
Because
Yeah,
she
definitely.
says to her, she goes, "You're fucking late."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Whoa, okay." Real sympathetic character right off the bat. And then she comes in. She's like, "Oh, how's my little princess doing?" She goes,
Don't call her that.
Don't call her that." And you're like, "Okay."
And we don't know why that line is said because we actually don't know that this woman is called Princess
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So you're just
Princess at
like, Jesus,
night.
lady, settle down.
Princess of the night.
Oh. So as I can see, she has a house, right?
Right. In a kind of suburban-y looking area.
Man, 1982, Hollywood hooker on Hollywood
We
Boulevard.
don't know. I thought she was a cop when they first introduced her.
That's
Yeah.
what I was
like,
like,
I did too.
okay, this is the lady cop. And I
Yeah,
figured,
right?
like, okay, it'll be some undercover thing going
yeah.
on.
No.
Nope. They go to
yeah.
the bus station, the Greyhound station in beautiful downtown Los Angeles.
Tanner's,
One of the finest.
One of the finest Greyhound stations in
also,
the entire state.
I don't think they had to like dress it up at all. I think probably that homeless woman was in the bathroom sleeping in there, and they're like, "We're gonna shoot a movie, ma'am, ma'am." Oh, fine, fuck it, roll.
Just do it. So so Princess puts her daughter on the bus to San Diego
Yeah.
with the maid or the helper woman. There's tears. It's a lot of crying.
It's like the beginning of Freddy Got Fingered,
It is like that.
putting her daughter on a bus,
Yeah.
to go to San
I
Diego.
forgot that is the beginning of
She was going to buy her
Yes.
daughter a LeBaron, but
Yeah.
she couldn't drive. She's not old enough.
Yeah, it said number one daughter on the back.
Yeah.
No, yeah, she's like, okay, I guess her and the friend / worker is going to go with her to San Diego.
Yeah.
And we just hear something loosely about we're going to get her away to San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay. What is she running from?
I don't know. Is it because at this point we still don't know what Princess is?
Yeah.
We think, I'm like, oh, she's
And
a
what
cop,
she's
and I don't know
potentially running from.
What. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so while you did skip one thing is like she gets a call from her friend Ginger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She gets a call from her friend Ginger, and she's like, yeah, hey, this Ramrod guy's pretty bad. I left him, and he's real mad about it. And she's like, I don't have time to talk, Ginger. Fuck you, and hangs up.
No, she says I'll be there at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Or like I have an appointment at 9 with so and so.
Yeah.
I forget the name of them, but I'll be there at 10. Then hangs up. So again, I'm still thinking, okay, this lady is a cop, like,
Right.
And Ginger is her criminal informant. I'm
Yeah.
having flashbacks
Yes,
to
yes,
like the
yeah.
Shield, and I'm
Yes.
like, okay, this is how this is going down.
Dude. Yeah.
She's the chickless of this movie.
Yeah, she is the chickless.
Yeah.
But no. She was apparently just calling to say she needed help or something, and she's another hooker that's in a hotel and has left her pimp Ramrod.
She's hiding out in the hotel.
Yeah.
Or motel.
So then that's when Princess goes into the bathroom and changes into her lady of the evening outfit.
So they're like, oh, she's a prostitute too?
So but again, I was still thinking,
still could have been,
she's
like,
a cop.
undercover, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then she just puts her bag in one of those bus lockers, like she's gonna leave it there forever or something.
Yeah.
also,
Like it's a body part, and
Yeah.
she's Ms. 45.
Yeah. Also, her outfit's not that much different. She just put more makeup on.
More,
lot
yeah, she's
more.
got
And
like blue eyeshadow.
She
now.
looks like
Yeah.
a teacher to me.
She does look like a teacher. She looks like a teacher that like unbuttoned one button on the blouse
Yeah.
and is like, I'm gonna go.
I like
you know.
when she walks out of the bathroom and all the older ladies that are walking in are just beside themselves.
Yeah. They clutch their pearls.
Yeah.
And they tut.
Yeah, they're not afraid of the homeless woman literally doing.
No.
She's literally sleeping under piles of Kleenex and paper towels.
like a needle hanging out of her arm, but they're like, oh,
I mean,
God,
honestly,
eyeshadow.
her dress
Blue
in that
eyeshadow.
her dress in that scene was fairly modest.
Yeah. No, she looks like a school teacher today. Yeah.
And now she's exited the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it is now nighttime.
Yeah. That was
It took her a long time to get ready.
Did they walk to the Greyhound station?
Well, she's got to get ready,
Yeah.
Tanner.
That's a long time to just put on blue eyeshadow. I've never put on blue eyeshadow. Yeah, but
You gotta
I'm
get it
thinking
just
that,
right,
That
okay?
You gotta
took
layer
a
it.
very long time.
So then some guy in a pickup truck or like a car pulls up, this John, who's like a hillbilly dude in a trucker hat. And he's like, hey, I want to party.
Hey, I just got paid.
Yeah, I just got paid. And she's like, you're a cop. And he's like, no, I'm not. I just got paid from the lumber mill or something. And she's like, get lost. And then guess what, guys? He is a cop.
She is street savvy.
She knows.
Yeah, she knows.
She knows her way around the block.
She could smell bacon.
I was like, what gave it away? The trucker hat, the hillbilly accent in L.A.?
Yeah.
What was it? You know,
It was the hillbilly in the Cadillac.
There's no
Yeah,
lumber
there's
mill
probably-
for
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Dozens
where did
of
he
miles.
come from? Like Ontario, and he drives all the way to Hollywood Boulevard. It's like, sir, you can get that at home. Maybe he was sick of the local,
he's
fair.
like,
and,
he drove past 20 good rub and tugs on his way to Hollywood Boulevard.
sometimes you drive a little bit further, go to that special restaurant. You know, that was one of those days.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted one of those Hollywood girls. So later on the street, okay, this is maybe my favorite part of the whole movie, is that a man pulls up, and he is like a real fancy man in his Mercedes car, and he has like this, oh, yes, like air about him. And he says that he wants a little party. And she says, okay. And he's like, well, I don't want just sex. She's like, all right, what do you want? And he says, do you want to partake in a golden shower?
Ah, yes.
And he says, it doesn't hurt or nothing. And she goes, no, thank you. And then he says, well, I have a 6-pack at $100. And she says, well, you just got yourself a date with Princess Running Water.
That's good. That shows that Princess cares.
The
She
6-pack's
does.
for him, right? Because he needs the liquid?
No, she needs a liquid.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's peeing on him,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she agreed to that quick. Now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a giver.
Yeah, like I said, she's the Jiminy Cricket of prostitutes in L.A.
She's the mother to all those who need love.
Yeah. When you wish upon a star. So then we get Ramrod. Wow.
Ramrod.
So Howdy Doody, who drives around in a SUV, like
That is a fucking badass Ford Bronco.
yeah, it's a Bronco, right?
Yeah, it's Ford Bronco.
like an OJ Bronco.
It's like a nice rich brown with some yellow and orange stripes on it.
Yeah, it's like that
So-
wood paneling
yeah.
style that we all
It's
had at
fucking
one
great.
point. Like everybody's parents had that Caravan at some point, right, with the wood panel side on it, and it says Ramrod on the back of it.
Yeah.
You know, just so
It
he's got it.
advertises.
Yeah, exactly. Then he pulls into a motel. He knocks on the door. It's Ginger's room.
I have stayed at this motel,
No.
and I might have actually stayed in that room.
Oh my, Tanner, this is terrifying.
It's but let me tell you a story. When I moved from Seattle to California, I first stayed with my parents in Sacramento, and I would drive down to LA on weekends. I definitely stayed at that motel on Sunset, and I might have stayed in that room or the room next to it, because I do remember I was kind of like in to the right. But yeah, you just pull into this little courtyard parking lot. I've stayed at that motel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Still there, still in business.
So this is like you were coming down on the weekends and you're like, yeah, I'm going to live in LA. And also, I'm going to stay right on Sunset Boulevard
Yep.
like a real LA person. You know? Fuck you,
I
Valley.
was young. I was like 23, 24.
It was
Yeah.
probably really cheap.
It was cheap, super cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ladies of the night.
You know, oddly enough, that was when they first started cracking down on streetwalkers on Hollywood and Sunset. And I
Oh.
remember there'd be nights where they literally barricade the street.
Wow.
Like from like 11 p.m. until like 4 a.m. They'd put down barricades so you couldn't drive it. So Johns couldn't drive up and down.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Because when I was watching this, I was
so
like,
they just
this
all
is-
moved to Fountain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I was watching this going like, this isn't that much different than the movie Tangerine.
I was
Like,
thinking
it's
that
still
too.
the same
Yeah.
type of crowd.
It-
and
a
scene
lot of
and
it reminded me
everything.
of
Yeah.
Tangerine.
Which is based on real stuff over at what is
Yeah.
it, Donut King or something like that.
Yeah. Roughly same area, a little further south, but roughly
Yeah.
the same area.
Is Hollywood still, I think.
Yeah.
Right? So Tanner stayed in this motel in
Yep.
this room. Did you find the coat hanger?
You know, it made me wonder. I was like, what were those coat hangers I used for?
Why was this one bent and then bent back into shape? you
Yeah.
know?
Why
so
is there "help me" written underneath this mattress?
he comes to the door and he's like, "Come on, let me in, Ginger," you know? And she lets him in because he sweet talks her. And then, man,
Yeah.
He
Then he
turns quick.
woo! Grindbin
He doesn't
listeners.
even let the sweet talking last until the door is closed. With
No,
him
the door's
inside.
still open.
Yeah.
Yeah, just grabs her, puts her against the wall, takes a coat hanger and like bounds her hands with it.
Yeah.
That his move is the coat hanger. Like he's
Yeah.
got all sorts of
It's
coat
versatile.
hangers.
Bends quickly.
That's true, and you can put it anywhere. You know,
Yeah.
he has them on him. Apparently, his weapon of choice is a folded up coat hanger that he like hits a
Which
woman
they
with.
refer to as a pimp stick
That
throughout
was
the
so-
movie. And I was
yeah,
like,
I was
is
like,
that
what?
a pimp stick? I always thought a pimp stick was an actual like
a cane.
I thought that was
Yeah.
like a Homie the Clown
Right.
type of thing. You know, where he has like the bat or whatever, that rubber bat
Yeah.
thing. No,
Pimp
The
stick is a folded up coat hanger
Yeah.
used to beat your woman.
Huh. Why a coat hanger? When he pulled that out, I thought he was going to brand her or
Yes,
something.
I
Like I
thought
was like, oh, he's
brand.
going to pull out like a lighter.
For me, best case scenario was a brand.
Yeah, because he pulled out the coat hanger. I'm like, I know this movie's
Yeah.
supposed to be bad. But no, he just hits her with it. Thank God.
It's like a
Prometheus.
Prometheus.
Well, I believe he. Yeah.
like the cheap man's Prometheus.
Yeah. Thank God he only hit her with it.
I think he more than hit her with it. I think it cut with him hitting there.
Tanner, I saw him hit her with it, and that was it. So
Because I don't know, they refer to other stuff, and he says he's going to ruin her for quite a while. So
yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
So it clearly establishes Ramrod is a psycho. He's crazy. He's most likely the villain of this picture.
Yeah, they don't call him Ramrod for nothing.
No.
So, yeah. So that scene is oh boy. But there is a great line when he says, "You know what time it is? School time," and then he hits her with the coat hanger. So then we go to Sergeant Walsh and Edwards. Okay, so Walsh and Edwards are like two beat cops. You know.
By the time we got to this point, I was wondering who is the protagonist of this movie.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't like anybody. Then you're like, maybe I'll be on this Walsh guy's side. Oh no, he's getting kind of racist. Yeah, because like, okay, so Edwards is Walsh's partner. So Walsh is like one of our main characters. I wouldn't say he's the protagonist. It's got to be Princess.
Yeah.
Right. Because it is her story.
Yeah, definitely.
Walsh has a partner named Edwards who is a black man who is wearing like.
They call him cornrows.
Cornrows?
And
Yeah.
he's got Stevie Wonder hair. Like
Yeah,
he's got
definitely.
the beads and the braids. And
As
he
a cop, which was weird. He
Yeah.
said something like, I just got my cornrows or
Yeah.
something. He's like, yeah, it looks fine.
how much
And-
did you pay for that?
Yeah, how much you pay for that? And then he's like, also, I've been working on my Jamaican accent.
Yeah, he wanted to try it out.
Because he's a rookie on the Vice Squad.
Yeah. The funny thing about it is that Edwards will almost disappear halfway through this movie. We're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, he's a character.
Oh, yeah, he's there. Because he gets overshadowed by the other dumbass cops on the Vice Squad.
Yeah, so the other cops, can't wait to get to them. Basically, the Flintstones animals of this movie. They just kind of walk around going, it's a living the whole time. Being like, dude, just do something else. You know? You don't have to be
No.
a cop. So Edwards, yeah, he has his cornrows, Jamaican accent. And then Walsh says, hey, since you're new on the force, right? We're having a little fun. Let's go see you pick up your first hooker. And he's like, okay, can I use my accent? He's like, yeah, whatever. So then this girl is terrible, okay? She's apparently, and she's like a character. We'll see her numerous times, right? She's an old veteran,
Yep.
okay? But the way they catch her is that Walsh gets out of the car, walks across the street, stands right next to her as the car comes around, and then Edwards just comes up and goes, yeah, like in his best
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, baby. You
I
want to
wanna-
have sex with Jamaican, man.
Hi, officer. What can I do for you?
Hey, man, you think I'm a cop? Just saying the word make me nervous.
And she's like, you're a cop. And he goes, no, I'm from Jamaica. And she's like, okay, I believe you. Then he just walks right up like 2 feet away. He goes, you busted. And she's like, damn it.
You got me again, Walsh.
It's like all these cops are like testing out their sketch characters.
What do you
taking
think?
classes at Groundlings.
Yeah.
What do you think, Walt? Yeah, Walsh and Edwards after their shift go to ground. They got like one of those 2 a.m. shows they put on, you know?
They got to paper the house. They only get paid if they make a certain like bottom to the audience.
What do you think Walsh's character was?
A cop.
That was
Yeah.
his undercover cop.
Walsh is only ever plays a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. That's why he's no good at picking up the hookers.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to give you a partner. Some guy, like the police are recruiting people from Groundlings. They're like, man, you know, it's hard to break it into TV, but you know where you can use that talent?
LAPD.
Yeah, LAPD, Vice Squad. Okay, we go to the Hollywood lockup, which I was like, they probably didn't even have to do like any sort of set or anything. Like this could have just been real. This is probably the same characters that they'd be locking up in 1982. They cut to a man in a pimp outfit. And I did love this. He goes, man, I'm going to tell you again, man. I'm a pimp. I'm not some jive-ass coke dealer. As in, like, it's fine. I'm a pimp. I'm not a drug dealer. Please let me go back to pimping.
Yeah.
I did like that.
I'm not going to fault his logic.
This place...
he works in management. He does not work in distribution.
Yeah, he's like,
I think
no.
that's a big difference.
Yeah. I'm like the middleman, you know? So then some dude gets pissed that somebody stole his goddamn paper clips. That's
that
a cop.
That guy got super pissed.
Now somebody stole my goddamn paper clips. Who in the fuck took my paper clips? Every time you need something in this fucking slime bitch, you can't find shit. Now somebody stole my goddamn paper clips. Those were my paper clips. My paper clips.
I think it's to show that there's not that big of a line between the crazy criminals and the crazy cops.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that really is the point of that scene. Is just like, oh, everyone is crazy in this world.
Yeah. Except for Walsh, who comes in. Well, Walsh is crazy because he looks like he's just going to murder everybody, including the man yelling about
he looks
the paper
like
clips,
he has a hair trigger, and he is halfway there.
Oh, yeah. So this guy, he runs out. He goes, somebody stole my goddamn paper clips. And this dude is like 7 feet tall, about to wreck everybody.
He's like Hightower from the Police Academy movies.
And everybody's like, oh, it's okay, man. And then Walsh and Edwards show up, and they're like, hey, they need you at the hospital or something. Then he's like, all right, process this lady of the night for me. Then Walsh and Edwards go to the hospital to visit Ginger. She's beat up real bad. And Walsh is like, come on, just tell me it's Ramrod. And she's like, I don't want to die. And then she dies.
She dies.
Yeah.
I was like, how ironic.
Yeah.
You know? She was just
I did not expect that going into that scene.
Yeah.
That she would just die after saying she didn't want to die.
He's like, the last thing you're going to do on this earth, just tell me it was Ramrod. She's like, no. And then dies. And he's like, all right, well, I guess that's that.
Fuck this.
So then Walsh puts a blanket over her head. And he does.
It's not, when you picture it, people who have not seen this movie, when you see someone like drape a blanket over a dead person where there's a little bit of gentle care to it, Walsh just fucking throws a blanket on this chick.
I wanted to see the doctor in the room be like, no, we'll take care of that. You don't have to.
We got that.
Please don't.
Officer, please.
We're going to have to wash it even more now. He puts a blanket over her head, and then he holds his fist to the sky, and he's like, Ramrod! And so then that scene ends because the princess then shows up at the morgue, right?
Well, because when they're at Ginger's body, they get told like, "Hey, we picked up Princess."
Yeah.
For I can't remember like what the
drug charge. Or something.
What the context is, but Walsh is like, "Bring her here. Bring her here."
So Princess shows up at the hospital, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just here to see my friend." And she walks in the door, and Walsh is there, and he's like, "Hey, you gonna help me find this guy?"
So Princess walks into this room, and there are bodies
it's the morgue,
covered
by the
in
way.
the morgue.
Yeah.
And she walks in, and Princess is like, "What is this? Some kind of joke?" And Walsh goes into it like, "Listen, you're gonna help me find Ramrod."
Well, because Walsh is like doing a kind of like a Fonzie next to two dead bodies.
Yeah.
Because he's been posing for like 20 minutes as she walks in.
Maybe she thought it was like a mannequin factory.
She walks in and he's like, "Hey, Princess!" And she's
good to see you again.
So he says basically, "Yeah, you're gonna help me, or you're gonna get like busted for this drug charge." She's like, "I don't even do drugs," and he's like, "Yeah, well, judges know that, huh?"
No.
Huh?
He's like, "Tough shit, lady. You're gonna help me."
And she's like, "No." And then he goes, I want to get this guy Ramrod. She's like, "All right, you're fucking crazy. There's no way I'm helping you get Ramrod. That man is legit crazy."
Yeah.
And he goes, "All right, well, why don't we say hi to your friend?"
Oh, yeah.
Then he pulls off that sheet he threw over her head, right? And shoves Princess's face
into her dead friend's face.
Which I do love is because he goes, "Look at your friend. Look at your friend, Princess. Look at her. Look at her." And I do like the part, like, so Princess starts screaming and everything, and while she goes, "It's your friend. It's your friend." And I did like that part. I was like, I think she knows, man.
Yeah.
She gets it. She's like, "Do you see that it's her?"
Walsh's hair trigger has been pulled.
Maybe his other sketch character is a dog trainer.
He does treat her like a dog.
Yeah.
She put her face.
Yeah.
You did this. You made this mess. You made this mess.
So then we go to the
And then he
players'
starts
ball.
doing space work
Yeah.
with Ginger's body.
He tells her to heal.
We go to Players Ball, okay? So the pimp gathering in Hollywood Boulevard, it is the Players Bar, okay?
I know what bar this is.
Shut up. Are you
It's
serious?
Yes. It is now closed, but it was the White Horse. that was on. It was in technically East Hollywood.
Okay.
Right across the 101. I had my birthday party there several years ago.
Were there a lot of pimps?
No, it was just I wish I knew where all the pimps had gone.
Was there
to.
a lot of cocaine?
I don't know.
sounds
Maybe.
like-
But no, like when that
With a
scene
name
started,
like
I was
that.
like, that bar looks really fucking familiar. It looks so familiar. It's
Wow.
like, where is that? God. And then when they showed the exterior in the movie, it's called the Bald Eagle. But it was the White Horse. I'm 90% sure. Because then I watched all the shots of them like leaving and coming. I was like 99% sure that was the old White Horse.
Oh.
Yeah. So fun fact.
So this is just the pimp bar. They all hang out in the same place,
Yep.
which is like, well, the cops should just go here.
Yeah.
They were looking for Ramrod. He's going to be at the pimp bar.
Yeah.
With all the other pimps. Why don't you just go find him there?
And this is where the movie starts to kind of lose me a little bit in terms of plot. Like, how does Ramrod not know who Princess is?
Especially because she was friends
With
Ginger.
Because
The thing is, like, nobody knows who Princess is, apparently. Not any pimp, because she walks in and, like, one pimp's like, hey, you need a pimp? She's like, no, F off. And Ramrod's like, oh, yeah, I like this girl.
He's like, she's got moxie.
This is like Frankenhooker. I didn't even think of that. But that's part of Have you seen Frankenhooker?
I saw it a very long time ago. I don't remember.
Well, that's
much.
the thing. He like makes himself a Frankenhooker, and she wants to be independent, but all of the pimps in the area aren't having it.
Yeah, which is Princess.
Yeah.
Maybe she is Frankenhooker.
Maybe she is Frankenhooker.
She graduated from just being a man's creation in his basement
Yeah.
to being an independent hooker. So Princess walks in, yeah, and Ramrod like comes to her table, and man, that scene,
He is
yikes.
playing hardball with her. Like, he is all over her in the most uncomfortable way you can imagine.
He's like rubbing his hands on her. He puts his fingers down her mouth, and
Yeah.
you're just like, whew.
Little dirty hands.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing like putting your fingers in somebody's mouth when they've been in the pimp bar. No. So she agrees to go with him because, you know, he's got to test the goods, right?
Yep.
And like this whole time, Edwards and Walsh are like listening in on it. And you're always wondering like, okay, when are they going
Yeah.
to like do something? Because he kind of already said he's a pimp.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was also like, I need to take a test drive and everything. And so they...
But it's also, I didn't understand where... Like, I was like, oh, is she wearing a wire? Because he is like all grabbing on her.
Right. They could hear her, right?
Yeah, she was wearing a wire. I don't know where because
But
in
I
her
think
conservative outfit, she's got her Ann Taylor coat on,
Yeah.
right? And like just a bar, like a bra.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And all I can think is like, is it in the purse?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Like that's I guess the device was just in the purse, but it made me really nervous, like knowing that she was wired and as much as he was groping her. And also at one point he like grabs her purse. And I was like, oh, is he gonna find it? Like that's what I thought was going to happen.
No. Also, he's not suspicious at all. He just is like, oh, look, a new girl in town.
Yeah.
And like just is like, hey.
Yeah, like yeah. Sure.
She's also like a little old to be a new girl in town.
Right.
True.
She's like 30.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, well, maybe she just got to LA. I don't know. But it
Yeah.
seemed a little weird.
And again, I was like, weird, like how does he not know who she is? Like, because they established that the community is very small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tight
So
knit.
it's like,
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah, there's two bars in this town. There's the pimp bar and the hooker bar. And they all know each other, right? And they all know Ramrod as being the crazy guy.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it later. Is like, I don't know why the girls just don't go with the other type of pimp.
The
you know?
sugar pimp?
Yeah, the sugar pimp. As we'll get to.
Yeah.
Why don't they just all go with that? Seems like it's a good deal, right?
Is any of it a good deal, though? Is any of it?
That's the real question, Tanner.
That's the real quandary of this
That's why the
movie.
patrons voted for this episode.
Yeah.
To
My
find
squad.
out. Yeah. What do we think about prostitution? That's what they wanted to know. The real hard-hitting question.
Yeah.
So we go outside the bar, and Ramrod's taking Princess. He's like, we're going to go for a little ride. And this homeless lady, like, follows them. She's like, do not get in the car with that man.
Where are you taking that young woman? Where are you taking her?
I did like this part is that Wings Hauser just pulls out a lighter.
Zippo? It's
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
I'm the devil, baby. I'm going to burn you down.
I did like that part. Did anybody else get reminded of, like, Dennis Hopper and Blue Velvet?
Oh,
from
totally.
Wings Hauser's character?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he also was doing like an Elvis thing though too.
Yeah, because he's obsessed with Elvis,
Yeah.
as we'll see by his. But was Blue Velvet after? I think it was.
Blue Velvet was way after because this was like 81 or 82.
Yeah, it was 82. So
and
this was
Blue Velvet's
definitely
got to be like 86, 87.
Seems to me like he took a little bit of it from this because
Probably.
Dennis Hopper is very Wings Hauser at that
Sure.
point.
But I would say Wings Hauser, Ramrod is a kind of crazy energy, but it's also a little charming in a weird way. Like if he wasn't batshit crazy, you kind of get how he'd be interesting to be around. Where Blue Velvet, Dennis Hopper is just fucking crazy and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's like the similarities, but I'd rather deal with Ramrod, quite frankly.
Also, Ramrod has that charming Howdy Doody outfit.
Yes.
Like he basically is dressed like Howdy Doody.
Because he's got like curly red hair and he has very prominent cheeks and chin.
Yeah.
So he's
and he has a Howdy Doody shirt on.
Yep, he's got a Western wear shirt.
Yeah. It's very weird. He doesn't fit in with the rest of the pimps who are all dressed like traditional pimp game. Ramrod's like a pimp from Texas or something. Like he just rolled in from the
Like a tumbleweed. He just rolled in.
Just rolled into town like a ramrod. So then he drives off. Edwards and Walsh like follow, and then he brings Princess up to his apartment, which is full of like Elvis posters and everything. It goes on for a while because the cops are like already there, and like they're we're gonna watch his every move and everything. They watch him like go upstairs. They're like, they're in the room now. He's taking off her clothes. Okay. I'm like, how far are they going to let this go?
Well, I think they forgot that they were supposed to be surveilling, and they were getting a little too into it.
Yeah, because Walsh is just sitting there listening, and he's like
what happens next?
What's he doing?
This is like Bravo Channel.
Then all of a sudden he says, like, if you turn some tricks, he's like, we got him! And then they all, like, run upstairs, and they break.
Oh, this part is the worst part in the whole movie to me, is when they open up the door, and he grabs that guy's head and grabs her head and smashes it into that other guy's head, and there's that bonk sound. I hated that bonk sound.
What happens is that like the cops come in, right, and they're gonna arrest him, and Ramrod's allowing them to arrest him.
Yeah.
And then Princess comes up to him and she goes like, "You're gonna pay for what you did to Ginger," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "I know what you did to her and everything, and that you killed her." And he's like, "I killed her?" Like he was surprised about it or something?
Yeah, he thought he just roughed her up, as he put it.
That's when he takes her
snaps
head
and grabs her head, and which she recovers from instantly, even though it was clearly at least a concussion.
It was like an old wrestling move.
Yeah.
Like he headbutts her into Walsh. And then, you hear the bonk sound.
Yeah.
Then he also takes a bar stool. Like, he won't give up. He goes to the couch, takes a bar stool, smashes it in her face.
Whaps her on the head. But it's funny because it's clearly like a cushioned bar stool, and he hits her in the face with it. But you could tell, like, he didn't do it with enough force to actually hurt her.
Right.
But, like, in universe. Not like it was a stunt. But, like, he really just, like, wanted to whap her in the face with this cushioned bar stool. So I laughed at that part.
I mean, look, Wings had been on the set of Days of Our Lives or whatever.
He was ready to do some beating.
He's like, I'm ready tonight. And she's like, Season's like, Wings, we take it a little easier on this next
I was
take.
going to bop you with it.
And so, you think it's a bunch of improv with the headbutts. And like, Wings, man, you gotta...
Yeah.
You gotta work on your stage combat.
Is everything okay? So he hits her with the stool, and then he's still fighting while the cops are trying to arrest him. And he's still, like, got Princess grabbed, and he's like, no!
Yeah.
I don't want this scene to end. Don't take me back to that soap opera. No! And they're just like, we're
shooting all night!
Yeah, Days of Our Lives or whatever it is. Yoga the Restless says we're gonna do a night shoot. He's like, no, fuck. So then, they finally arrest him, right? And they put him with the Flintstone Animal Cops. Okay,
which is Kowalski and I forget what the other
these
guy's
guys. They're so dumb.
Yeah,
he's
so dumb. Barely restrained in the back of that car.
Yeah. And it's just it's not a squad car. It's
a regular car.
It's their fucking Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going ape shit in the back of the car, and they don't see it as any sort of threat whatsoever, even though...
taunting him.
But guys,
they're making it worse.
Before that scene, we get a nice scene because after all her help with the police, Walsh doesn't let her go home empty-handed. He buys her a hot dog dinner.
And I'm willing to bet that was at Pink's.
That's got to be Pink's, right?
A fine hot dog dinner.
Yeah. He buys her a hot dog dinner. He's like, so you did all that police work for me tonight. Where do you want to eat? Don't worry. I know the place. So he gets us done real cheap. They go to Pink's and he gets her a chili dog. And we watch Princess eat a dog and them talk about their stories about, the various jobs they do.
Yep.
And Walsh's are way worse.
Yeah.
He's like, I saw 2 junkies, 113, 114. They died yesterday. They died in my arms. And she's like, I spanked 2 people yesterday.
She's clearly winning at the game of life.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I saw a man shoot himself with a shotgun on the 405. I had to have sex with an old man. And he's like, yeah, starting to think maybe I should be a prostitute. Maybe that leather gang has an opening. I don't know. So then this is a really weird part because like they try to humanize Walsh and that she's like, all right, well, I got to go back to work after my hot dog.
Yeah.
Right? Which I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's
It was a warm up.
I was like, though, I'd be
the
like,
rest of the night.
you know, if I'm gonna go pick up a hooker, probably not gonna do it outside of Pink's.
Yeah.
You know, just saying, like,
I'm also not going to go through with it if she was just like, yeah, just down to hot dog.
yeah, maybe
A chili dog.
Look, here's the thing.
Again, maybe it was a warm up.
Yeah, maybe, but I'd have like some emergency Tums available. Be
That's
like,
true.
maybe you need.
I've never
eaten
eaten at Pink's, but I hear have the Tums ready.
Yeah, I think
A
you
lot
need
of
some
people
Tums.
hate on Pink's, but I thought it was good.
It's good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
I won't wait in line for a fucking hot dog.
That's
so
true. The line
that's
is
my thing.
insane. But if you one time, this was super weird. We went to a Clippers game and we sat super cheap, and we went to Pink's right after the game. And next to us in line were the same people who were sitting next to us at the Clipper game.
Yeah,
The exact
It was
same
very
people.
Did you guys become friends with them? Because
Just
that
for
was
like
the
a
universe
second.
telling you to be friends
It
with them.
kind of was, but like we recognized each other and we were like, hey,
Hey,
That's
you
weird.
also like the Clippers.
because Pink's isn't that close to Staples Stadium at all. So it was weird.
Yeah. It was
Anecdote.
odd. Anyways, yeah, Pink's is fine.
Pink's,
Go there instead
yeah.
of Hollywood Boulevard.
They
if you're
have
gonna go
really-
see an LA staple, go see Pink's.
But don't eat there. Just drive by.
Yeah.
Don't win that. Go to Okie Dogs, which is up the street.
Oh, I haven't been
Pink's
there.
does have really good fries.
They do have good. Their food's fine, but you know, it's like one of those like, look, we
Yeah,
got the
don't-
Rosie O'Donnell dog.
Yeah,
they
don't-
got them like named after
Don't
celebrities.
wait 3 hours for it. But if there's nobody there,
Yeah, there's never
But
any.
then if
yeah,
there's
it's always packed.
if nobody is there, that
Something's
means something
wrong.
is wrong, and don't eat there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true, Tanner. So yeah, she just downs a hot dog and then gets into John's car because he's like, "Wait, you're going back to work?" She's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Here, let me give you some money. You're gonna have to work." And he opens his wallet and she's like, "Well, you're a cop. You don't make. I make more than you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, unions or something." She-
But that
walks away.
that is the again like the hooker with the heart of gold kind of thing, and it is meant to kind of establish that Walsh is a little sweet on Princess.
Yeah, it's weird because then he like opens his wallet and she sees like a picture of his daughter, which
Yeah.
we'll never follow up on.
Nope.
And she's like, "Who's that?" And he's just like, "It's my little girl, something." And you're like, "What is all this? We don't need it."
yeah.
But I like knowing more about Walsh.
Yeah.
He's been
He
divorced
likes
a
a hot
couple
dog.
times. likes
Oh
a
yeah,
hot
there is
dog.
that part where he says he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
divorced 3 times
Yep.
because he takes all his wives to Pink's all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, "Well,
Well, because he meets all his wives on the street.
Yeah.
first-
you hook up with those you work with, right?
Yeah.
So
I
there
feel
you
like
go.
the first and the last dates are at Pink's.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a nice little bookend. Anyways, yeah, she gets in a car, which I was like, man, I feel sorry for that dude. Right after the chili dog
Yeah,
dinner,
that Pink's breath.
I think she was eating a chili dog too. I was really like, man. Whew. So then, the cops are driving Ramrod to jail. He's barely restrained in the back of like a Cadillac that these cops are driving, and they're like giving him shit the whole time, like, "Hey, yeah, I bet you'll be real popular in jail, huh? Jail sex. That's our old joke."
We're cops.
Yeah, and then holy shit, Ramrod kicks 2 guys' asses with his boots.
Yeah. He's got like big cowboy boots.
Literally, both of his hands tied behind his back. He kicks these 2 guys.
He kicks like out a window.
Yeah, he smashes one guy's face in, like breaks his nose and smashes his face in, and then strangles another man while
Yeah.
he's trying to drive, and then the car like runs into all these other cars, flips over, and while Ramrod's still handcuffed, he's going, like Wings Hauser is just getting out of this car, like he gets out of the set of Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
This is like him out of his Star Wagon every day, is just like wiggling out the window, like, "Give me the fuck out of here."
character.
And then he just goes running off in the middle of the night, and all these people are like, what the fuck? And then, yeah, that ends. And then this is when the cops get out of the car and they're like, man, Walsh is going to kill us.
We're so screwed.
And I was like, why did Walsh let these guys take him out?
Twiddly and Tweedledum.
Yeah. They always say things. They're like, it's a living, or, oh, it's just a job. It's so weird. So then we go to the police station, and Walsh is like ready to kick both their asses. He takes them, like pulls one of them up against the wall. He's like, you fucking idiot. You let Ramrod out of your car and everything. And then like this other cop comes up. She's like, man, calm down, Walsh. We're all in this together. And he's like, all right, well, I'll tell you what, everybody. We're either going to find Ramrod or we're going to find Princess or we're going to have one dead hooker, which is just like every night in Hollywood. But this time, I have a emotional connection with her. Yep. We shared a hot dog dinner.
And for the first time, it's going to be their fault.
Yeah.
Because they had the guy, and they fucking lost him.
Yeah.
Not like it would matter in the long run. Just, I mean, what police division are we talking about here? This isn't Rampart, is it? Because we're real fast and loose with the police work. Especially when we start calling people things over the radio. At some point in this movie, we're like, oh, I don't think that was ever an official term. That's... So, yeah, he also says shoot first. She goes, remember our policy, everybody. If you see him, I don't care if he has a fucking straw in his hand. Shoot first.
If you see someone, shoot someone.
If you see somebody in a Howdy Doody shirt, shoot him. Shoot
if
that
he's
guy.
Holding a baby, shoot through the baby.
It's either Ramrod, a tourist, or one of those street performers. Either way, we can get rid of one of them.
Acceptable loss.
Yeah.
Is this also the part where there's like the strung out girl that Walsh like turns on a dime and like runs over? It's like, sweetie, are you okay? Do you need help? I want someone to get this girl to a hospital right away.
What
it's
was
like
that
out
about?
of nowhere.
Yeah, he just goes up and he like cups a girl's face and he's like,
sweetie,
yeah,
are you
it's all
okay?
right, it's all right, it's all right. That was his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. His ex-wife.
I would have liked to see the paperclip guy at this point. I would have liked to see him come out and go, no, Walsh, kick their ass. Please, just do it for me, or at least let me do it.
What if they took my paper
Yeah,
clips?
they took my like. What if Walsh roughs one of them up and a bunch of paper clips fall out of his coat pocket? Like the whole room just goes silent. They're like, uh-oh. So we get Ramrod is getting his cuffs sawed off, and he tells this man Roscoe to hurry his black ass up, and then Roscoe puts the axe onto his throat and goes,
yeah, Roscoe wasn't taking it.
Yeah, nope.
Ramrod is a racist.
Yeah.
He's like, don't be racist to the guy who's trying to cut off your handcuffs.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Lesson 1, Ramrod.
Yeah, he's like, just as easily slit a throat with this one.
Yeah, you don't like smart mouth a guy holding a saw while you're handcuffed.
Yeah, because he could be like, whoops, went a little far with that handcuffs on, or just go for the throat. This is another thing, though, is like hacksaw with the handcuff. It's like, I'd be so terrified that they're going to saw too much.
Yeah.
And go right for my wrist. But I guess beggars can't be choosers.
You're not built for pimping.
No, I'm not.
You gotta be prepared.
Well, I do have the hat with the feather. That's about it. So. I often wear that out on dates when I take Molly to Pink's. We have a nice chili dog dinner.
Yeah, Mike puts on his feather cap.
Yep. And I like to yell at ladies. It's fun. We pretend we're from Hollywood Boulevard. We're like, no, it's just for fun, tourists. That's all. It's what the real LA's like. So we want to give them something to remember when they go home.
Yeah.
That's why when I
stories to tell.
When I see tourists, I often scream things.
Hand them a coat hanger.
I do hand them coat hangers. I will scream obscenities. I'll tell them, don't go in there, don't go in there. You know, just
the wax museum is not worth it.
Yeah.
Guinness Book of World Records Museum hasn't been updated since 1982.
I go, spoiler, they're all made out of wax. That's it. So then he gets out the cuffs, right? And then we go to Princess late night doll shopping.
Oh, that was weird.
I'm like, what the hell? Never mind. And John pulls up. We don't hear the offer. She just goes with them.
But what is strange, like, that had to have been something that was already existing there. Yeah. And they were like, let's take advantage of this for one shot.
Okay.
Because there's no way someone deliberately planned.
Look, Molly, there's one thing I learned about
window.
LA in 1982 from this movie. One, there are a lot of late night burger and hot dog stands, and
Yeah.
2, there are a lot of late night stuffed animal places. Because this is not the only one. This is the first of many times that she'll be shopping for. And like the whole store is stuffed animals. Like the whole front display window is like in Savage Street. She's looking at bear traps and all that stuff. And this one, it's like some store on Hollywood Boulevard filled with stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Or, like,
It's like
later?
a claw machine of a store.
I feel like I have seen that though, but only in context of like when there's a holiday, like Valentine's Day, where like they'll
yeah.
set up like here's tables of stuffed bears and flowers and shit for
These dolls
you to
were
drive by.
strange looking though.
Yeah, they're like American Girl dolls,
But like bigger, like taller, like the size of a toddler.
It's like the American Girl doll store at the
original
Grove
one.
or
Yeah.
something. John pulls up. Then we go to her, with her and the John. He gives her $50. She goes, "It's only 25." I'm like, 20? Wait, hold on, $25? I'm like, she has a house.
She's busy.
I'm like, fuck, man, 1982 money.
Yeah.
So she's like, It's only $25 to have sex with me. And he goes, "No, I want something special." She's like, "Oh, okay, what do you want?" And he's like, "Can I suck on your toes?"
Oh yeah, this was the Mitch
This guy-
McConnell guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, he's Mitch McConnell with the fedora
Yeah.
on.
So a turtle with a fedora.
rights, my lady.
And he's like, "I want to suck on your toes," which I hear, is funny enough, is what McConnell's into.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't doubt it.
So yeah, he wants to suck on her toes, and
She's
she
like,
goes,
"Oh, I better go wash up." He's like, "No."
The grimier, the better.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, well, you've been a very dirty boy."
Yeah, and then guess what, guys? As a little bonus, she throws in a spanking.
Yeah.
And he's like real happy about it. He's like, all right, you know? It's like I said, she's like the little Jiminy Cricket of prostitutes. It's like he this guy just needed to let his freak flag fly. He's old, right? He's a good 70 years old or something. He's been
And his
hiding
good lady
sand.
wife.
Yeah.
She's not into that.
No, he's terrified to ask his wife if he can suck on her dirty toes. He's tried, but it's never happened. So, Princess, she does it right.
She's there to do the deed.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel okay about it because he took his Social Security money and bought himself a Hollywood Boulevard prostitute to suck her toes. So,
I mean, you got a lot of
greater
spending
good,
money when you
know?
don't have to pay for your health care because you're in Congress.
Yeah. Or you got Medicare,
Yeah.
you know. So if he gets sick with it, he could just go to the hospital. And it's
Or
all
when you
okay.
take all
Yeah.
that special interest money.
Yeah, that's what he uses it on.
So yeah, then we go to Ramrod, and he pulls up to the leather bikers hangout, which I was like, oh, I did want to know more about this gang. I'm very interested because they all just kind of like sit like the Thriller album picture, like they lay like that on their bikes. Like there's a guy that's laid out like Michael Jackson just on his bike, not in full leather because he only has just like one strap, you know, and like some bikini shorts or something, like a Speedo, leather Speedo. He kind of, when I saw Judas Priest, Rob Halford dressed up like this for about half the show.
Yep.
I was like, man, I'm interested in this Rob Halford biker gang.
Yeah, these are these are some premium Hollywood leather daddies.
But then it kind of mixed into like bizarro, like, are they also white supremacists or something? Because
Well, they're bikers, so
Yeah,
I was like, a gay white supremacist gang?
Yeah.
That seemed really off to me. Like, huh? I didn't think those things went hand in hand, but okay. Huh.
Yeah, and this is where we meet Fast Eddie,
Because
right?
this is, yeah, he goes to like the back of the store from falling down, right? Like, he goes to that guy's store basically. Like if he fell down a little further, you know, and that was like his old self. Like he was a little more wild, and then he just was like, I gotta get out of that lifestyle.
Clearly, because these are the worst hand-drawn face tattoos.
Oh yeah,
it's horrible looking makeup for
It was
his
weird,
his
man.
tats. Yeah,
yeah,
once he
it
went
looked
in
like
there,
you remember when you made T-shirts from like you'd print something out and then you'd iron it on? It looked like they did that to his face.
they ironed on this.
Yeah,
he can only take cold showers because warm water will just
make it
him
bubble.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Although, like, once he went inside, I'm like, I don't want to learn any more about this gang. Like, it was fine outside, but now that we've gotten inside, it's a little too weird. And so he basically gets, like, a brand new switchblade from him. He's like, oh, perfect. And it's a big one. It's scary. And then he, like, gives him a dirty, hairy gun, and Wings Hauser fucking flips out and pulls that gun right up to his chin. He says, I said a fucking automatic. And then he gives him an automatic. And he says something about Wing says something about how I'm gonna get a guy to deliver you the money later. I'm like, dude, he's got fucking credit with them and everything, man. Ramrod like runs this town. He basically finds out from that tattoo skull man that about this old Sugar Pimp that Princess used to run with, and Wings is like, well, tell me where she is, or tell me where he is, and I guess he finds out. So then Walsh and Edwards are driving around Hollywood Boulevard. Edwards just says something about how the city sucks, so there's too many degenerates.
Yeah, he drops some slurs.
Yeah.
And talks about how much the city sucks.
Yeah. So then Princess, the hooker with the heart of gold. This is where I was like, okay, we're going a little too far. Like, we don't need this. Is that she's in a room and she opens the door and a man with a wheelchair rolls out.
An amputee in a wheelchair.
Yeah. And he's like, thank you so much, Princess. You're the greatest prostitute, you know. And she's like, oh, you're welcome. And he's all, when you go down to San Diego, let me know, because I'll drive down. You're certainly somebody who's worth the trip.
You're worth the drive.
Yeah. I was like, is she like moving away to not be a hooker? Or is she going to like, kind of like.
Why would she also tell like one of those people that she's moving to? Yeah. Like where she's moving.
See,
like, why would you even
like,
get into that conversation?
This is like a hairdresser thing when they like, they're working at the one hair place and then they're like, I'm going to open my own shop. And they tell all their customers, like, you just got to come over to my new shop.
I know.
And then none of them go.
I mean, I would imagine that you probably don't want to have too personal a relationship with a sex worker. You know, that's like the kind of thing you want to keep as impersonal as possible.
Yeah, like.
I think
oh,
there's
God, he's
probably
falling
something,
for it.
Well, you know, like strip clubs. Like strip clubs are all based on creating the fake kind of intimacy,
right,
to kind of get the person in.
Yeah.
But so I can see where they want to make the connection on a personal level with her.
Yeah.
But why would she want to?
Why would she give that information?
Because ultimately I think to her it probably doesn't matter. Like, to remember from Princess's perspective, the danger's gone. Ramrod has been arrested. Ramrod is going away.
So that's true. But she was planning to leave LA for San Diego to get away from that life.
Hooking, right?
Yeah. So why would she be telling people?
Yeah, just call
where she's going.
Well,
like, just
maybe
leave.
She's like,
leave it all behind.
Look, I gotta pay rent. All right.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, I'll take a few customers that drive down every now and then.
That's true.
Because we also don't have any backstory on Princess.
That's true.
No.
So we don't know what her plan is.
For all we know, like Molly said, she's dressed like a school teacher.
Right.
To me, it seems like what she was trying to do is get her daughter as far away from this lifestyle as possible.
Yeah.
So why she would try to bring that lifestyle with her seems to defeat the entire purpose
But
of
she
leaving.
could also be telling that guy, yes, I'm moving to San Diego. He could have the assumption that
maybe he's a regular.
He is a regular. He is a regular because he's like, thank you.
But she doesn't she moves to San Diego. She never thinks about this guy again, and there's no way for him to find her. So it doesn't matter.
It's not that
for him
far though.
Well,
no, yeah. I mean, we're talking an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But is the guy in the wheelchair going to drive down to San Diego? And
like,
just
it's so weird to me.
Streets?
It's so weird to me that it's like,
I'm
going to get away from the hooking game.
Can't drive?
I'm going to go to San Diego. Okay. That's fine.
I mean, there is a naval base, so there's plenty of work.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, if she's maybe like San Diego's an untapped market. You know what I mean? Like that, you know, the Hollywood game's getting a little played out, a little saturated. So maybe you got to open a franchise down in San Diego, you know, because there is also this part coming up when they go to the hooker bar where we find, and I was like, man, talk about a business opportunity, right? Conventions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Oh, gosh.
And by the way, before Comic-Con.
I'd be really curious to find out. Like, well,
I
you
can
can't even
comment
check
on
Craigslist
this, actually.
anymore.
We met before Tinder days, but my friends who still use Tinder say that whenever there's a big convention in town, they get so many more hits on their Tinder profiles from someone who's like, I'm just here for the weekend for a convention.
Oh,
that makes sense. When the Republican National Convention, whatever city it's in, hookers from all over come to town.
Yeah.
They come from all over?
Yeah, literally, like, it becomes like
it's just a bunch of Republicans and hookers in this town.
It's old white men who need women to suck on their toes. You know, like so they come from all over and they're like, oh, well, you know, I'll get a hotel room.
All these hookers walking
profile.
off planes with six packs. Just ready to roll.
I got 6-packs and rubber sheets. That's all you need.
Here we go. That's when the cops go into the players' ball, and they grab a pimp who knows Ramrod. And I write, maybe it's a bad idea for all the pimps to hang out in the same bar. Like, just saying, because they already know where to go. And so this guy gives away information, right?
Is this the line from the opening? The you blink motherfucker and you'll die in the dark. That's from the sassy black lady vice squad.
Yes,
with her sassy hat that she wears.
Yeah, she does wear that weird she's like.
Yeah, she's very stylish, and her partner is like If we didn't know he was a LA cop, I would assume he was a Russian gymnast because he is in a red jumpsuit and he's blonde with a blonde mustache
and never says a word.
Does not say anything.
Yeah, just kind of nods at everything she does. So then this, he says, "Oh, you can find Ramrod over at Roscoe's garage." And then I do like this. They let the pimp guy go, and he's like, "Man, fuck this! I'm going home to watch some TV. Like this night is too rough." So then Princess gets out of a cab, and I was like, she's such a nice hooker. She even gives the driver a nice tip.
She did.
Like, man,
told him to keep the change.
What a nice lady, you know? So then she ends up at the hooker bar. Tanner, have you been to this one?
You know, I really tried to find some sort of identifier in this, but I couldn't see anything that was that told me where it was.
Do you think they're close to each other? Like, it would make sense if they were neighboring bars. You know what I mean?
Across
so they
the street
could just,
from each other.
Yeah, exactly. But it seems like it's a different part of town. They share some stories about the job. They're like, nobody wants just straight sex anymore. Everybody's a real freak.
Yeah, a bunch of freaks and Greeks, she said.
Freaks and Greeks.
Yeah, a lot of Greeks. So then, oh boy, some guy comes up to Princess and he goes, "Hey, you want a trip to paradise?" He describes himself as one horny conventioneer.
I like how he had a name tag on.
Yep.
He does have his name tag on. He says he's a horny conventioneer and that he's seen more ass than a cowboy's saddle. And I'm like, that's kind of gay. Like, it's like,
I was like, that's a pretty bold statement to tell a prostitute.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. I was like, I think you messed that up. I think that's what the lady would say. All right, well, she says she could handle a whole damn convention. And I'm like, hope we don't see that.
That'd be an interesting montage.
We're gonna have
Benny Hill music.
Yeah.
Take it to the limit. But I was like, man, these girls are missing out. There's a convention in town. Why are you not setting up shop right outside the LA Convention Center?
Yeah, get downtown.
Like, fucking
Also,
egg.
how did this fucking guy end up at the hooker bar? Presumably by himself.
Tanner, the
He
bellhop at the hotel, you give him enough money, tell him, and he's going to tell him where the hooker bar is, But yeah, come on. And also, by the way, do you think he went traveling all around LA with that name tag on?
Yeah.
I did like that he had it on. Very far from the convention. So then Ramrod sneaks into the apartment building of this pimp, the Sugar Pimp,
Sugar
which
Pimp.
is a rerun.
Rerun.
Yeah. Man, it just opens up on this shot.
Imagine, if you will, in your mind's eye, listeners, rerun from What's Happening in boxer shorts and a robe, open for all of God's creation to see, lounging on a couch. Is he eating a steak?
Rerun eating a steak in a robe. White robe, white couch.
Yeah, he is just living his life, and he lives in the most fabulous apartment.
Oh, God, 1982.
Where
are
mirrored
you?
walls, Greek columns.
Oh, he's like a Greek god.
He is. Yes. I mean, outside of the context of this movie, Rerun is like a Greek god. But also in the context of this movie, he is like a Greek god.
So Ramrod just comes in, he ramrods his way through the door, and he's like, "Where the fuck is Princess?" He's like, "Man, what?" He's like, "I'm just eating a steak, man.
I'm just having dinner."
Because apparently they're like, when she moved to town, she had this pimp, and then she went off on her own, and she doesn't need a pimp anymore because she's like the Jiminy Cricket of prostitutes. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I used to be her pimp or something."
Yeah.
And then he grabs Rerun by the testicles, by the balls, and says, "You're going to tell me where she is, right?" And then he does, and he still cuts his balls off.
Yeah.
And I was like, we don't need this. I don't need to see Rerun castrated in a movie.
Well, to be fair, we did not see it. We heard it.
Yeah, it was interesting. But then he says something about I know the problem with you sugar pimps. You're too nice to your ladies or something. I'm like, seems like that would be the type of pimp you'd want, right?
Perhaps.
Like, what happens if they have do you think, like, Rerun had some sort of, like, formal negotiations if there was a problem? He's like, look, I know that the guy gave you $100 and you're only giving me this much, you know? We'll agree to disagree this time.
But please don't let it happen again.
Yeah. Next time, we'll, you know, make it even, right? He's like the nice pimp. Do you think he like takes her out, you know, gives her tickets to Disneyland every now and then, you know?
Keep her spirits up.
Yeah. If she has a bad night, she calls him up and he's like, oh, it's okay. We can talk. So then we go to the Horty convention here. He's not having a good time.
No.
Because we cut to the most awkward sex scene I've seen.
I didn't quite understand what she was upset about at this point. Like, why was she...
I think she's like one too many horny conventioneer dicks. She did do the whole convention.
That's true.
So I think he's just a lousy lay.
Well, that's certainly possible, but she's probably used to that, right? Like, I felt like there was something missing. Like something was on her mind, but I had no idea what it was. Like, she was oddly upset.
Yeah, wait, she doesn't know Ramrod got out.
No.
Yeah, so what's the deal? Is she thinking about her daughter, thinking about stuffed animals again? That would have been funny. You just have a little thought bubble of her head and she's thinking of the stuffed animal store. So her and her daughter just playing amongst them all.
Well, in the hooker bar scene, before the conventioneer comes over, we meet 2 other prostitutes.
Yeah.
Connie, is that her name?
I don't know. Prostitute 1 and prostitute 2.
Prostitute
the one
1.
who got arrested earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
And then, there's 3. There's Blue, I think that's her name, is the one who got arrested earlier.
Right.
Then there's the Asian prostitute, who I want to say is Connie.
Coco.
Yeah. Coco. And then there's the black
just like
prostitute.
the Pixar movie.
Yeah, just like
exactly
based
like
off the Pixar.
Yeah.
So
Pixar
maybe
based
there's
off
something in that conversation.
I don't remember anything though.
Because here's the thing: is like Princess never talks about getting out of the hooker game. She just says she wants to move to San Diego.
Yeah, but why?
But she never says like that she's miserable being a hooker or that it's bad or anything.
Yeah, because every
just like,
experience up until that point was seemingly fine. And she was seeming to be having an okay time at the hooker bar.
I think it's what Tanner's saying. This guy just is terrible. Also, though, I think like if you're a prostitute, you know, some days, you know, you go into work, you know, you just don't have it.
That's true.
Some days you just kind of blah about your job.
Yeah, I know. You're like, you just don't.
Just
like,
another Monday.
Yeah.
And if some sweaty conventioneer guy.
Yeah, and she's like, it's just another convention.
Rotting you and calling you a bitch.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't help.
Yeah,
no.
But it's all sweaty, and he's like, and she's just like a dead fish, which I assume is probably what an experience with the prostitute would probably be like. Is that they're like, all right, I'm just gonna lay here while you do your thing,
do your business.
So he just says something like, well, hold on, I have the thing. He says, why don't you move your ass? But then he just finishes anyway.
Yeah.
And then while she's in the bathroom, he tries to like get a refund.
Oh, yeah.
And she walks out, she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, you suck. I'm taking my money back. I'm getting a refund. And she says something about how she has a pimp and he's going to beat her up. I'm like...
She says something about how she has a pimp.
We'll just walk right over that, Tanner. We don't have to talk about that. The N-word is bandied about in 1982. And then I think he just robs her.
Yeah, I think he takes all her money.
She throws her shoe at him, though.
But this is like, if you're a hooker, you should probably have a gun. Or
hooker
like a
with
knife.
a gun.
Like,
yeah.
But I would say that always the danger of being armed is it's very easy to be disarmed.
To take that shot,
However, here's another hooker 101. Don't leave your purse out in the room, right? With the John, bring it to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rookie mistake, princess.
Yeah. So it's kind of on her, you know?
I want to blame the victim here.
Also, you know, she wasn't
I'm going to take the brave stance of blaming the victim.
So we go to Roscoe. He's with the cops. He gives us the information.
They stick a gun in his mouth.
Oh, yeah. They're about to kill him. Come on, man. Rampart. Rampart
is looking for Ramrod.
So this is they go to the hotel and Princess calls down to the lobby and she's like, can you bring me some clean sheets? And the lady just hangs up on her. The manager goes, what the fuck she think this is, the Biltmore?
Mrs. Crookshank.
Yeah,
Mrs. Crookshank. Yeah,
we meet
Harry Potter.
Crookshank, Mrs. Crookshank, and Mr. Wong.
the part when Harry Potter calls down and asks for clean sheets.
Yeah.
What do you think this is, the plaza? So yeah, then Walsh and Edwards and other cops are like looking for Ramrod. Then we go back to the hotel lobby. Yeah, she's hanging out with her Asian friend, Mr. Chin.
I thought it was Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong, yeah. And the manager lady tells Princess, she's like, hey, somebody was looking for you in the parking lot, asking for you by name. She goes outside, it's some driver.
Yeah.
And I write...
So this part was when I was starting to fall asleep, and it got surreal. And I don't know if what I saw really happened or if I was dreaming.
This is the 15 minutes of the movie that they fucking went insane.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't imagine.
It's like a fever dream.
Okay, because I was like on the brink of being asleep. And so when I woke up, I was like, did that happen? I don't know.
Oh, no, yeah. It happens.
Okay.
And also I was like, wait, hold on. So this guy's like a driver and he's going to take her back. I'm like, is this like how Bruce Wayne gets a hooker?
Yes.
'Cause I was like,
we
this
did talk
guy's
about
like
it in the
Alfred.
opening, but like the driver is he's a that guy. Like you've seen that guy in tons of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The
you're like,
character
oh,
actor,
it's that guy.
I just kept thinking like this whole time, I'm like, I'm trying to think of Michael Caine picking up a hooker for Bruce Wayne.
And this is we also like because we know Ramrod's after her when Mrs. Crookshank was like, "Oh, there's someone waiting for you." I was like, "Oh no, it's Ramrod!"
Right,
oh, no.
right,
And
totally.
Like, oh, it's fucking
out in the parking lot.
Fucking Jeeves.
But the Crookshanks lady was all like, "Ooh, there's someone waiting for you. You're real popular tonight," so you kind of knew it wasn't something threatening.
Yeah,
but you could also see Ramrod walking in.
Yeah,
like,
and
hey,
being charming.
I hear there's a pretty young lady named
That's true.
Princess who works here.
And he,
I
you
see. I
he
do
charms
declare.
his way. Yeah.
Yeah.
He dresses up like Foghorn
Foghorn
Leghorn.
Leghorn.
Yeah.
I know my western shirt is covered in blood. It's been torn the rest of this movie. But, oh man, I need me some of that princess, if you know what I'm saying.
And she's like, oh, you seem like a charismatic man.
You're a nice tall white man.
Yeah.
6 foot tall chicken.
So Walsh and Edwards are driving around, and then they're like, they say something about how Ramrod cut off a Sugar Pimp's balls. I'm like, oh my God, he really did. Because this is the point where I was like, no.
Rerun.
I was like, Rerun never deserved that.
How is Rerun gonna run?
He's like, all he was doing is just enjoying his steak on his couch. Like he's
Maybe it'll be easier for him to run.
Maybe now, yeah. You know? But I was like, he's just having a hymn night, you know?
Yeah.
He's just enjoying himself, and fuck, man. He's watching The Wheel, you know? So then they find out the hotel that she hangs out in. They're like, fuck, it's on the other side of the strip. I'm like, it's only going to take like 10 minutes.
It's called the Golden Motel. I tried to find out any information on it, and it came up short.
Golden Motel, Golden Shower.
Oh, yeah.
So Hotel Ramrod is already there holding the manager at knife point. Like he's like holding her with the knife, and he's like, where's Princess? Do you have any clean sheets? She says no to both. Then the dumb cops pull up to the motel and they run inside with their guns drawn. I would have liked it if they just started opening fire at that point. But they just find the manager lady is like on the floor. The place has been ransacked. And then they're like, hey, was Ramrod here? And she's like, fuck off. I like that guy. He's cool. Then so Wong comes out. And this is when this movie's, I'm like, so we're doing like racist slapstick now?
Yeah, that got weird.
It's like the scene in Pieces.
It really is. He shows up and he's doing like karate moves, and they're like,
and he beats the shit out of Kowalski and other guy.
Because one guy calls him, he's like, all right, Bruce Lee, calm down. And he says, my name is Wong, not Lee. Then not only does he beat him
Bruce,
up,
apparently.
Bruce Wong.
I don't know how you knew my first name was Bruce, but the last name is Wong. Then he does like a full-on like wrestling match that he like throws these dudes through like tables and chairs and everything, and he's fucking them up.
Yep.
And that's when Walsh and Edwards come in and they're like, oh, for fuck's sake. That's when he says the Flintstone animal line is he says, what a way to make a living. That's what the cop says. Then the manager's like, I didn't say nothing. Also, leave that nice man in that country shirt alone. He did nothing wrong. Then we go to Ramrod and he's talking to one of the hooker friends. This was so weird is he's like, hey, you know anything about that big Cadillac that drives around looking for hookers? And she's like, oh, that's Coco's job. I'm like, why didn't he just go to Coco? Why did we need the other hooker to say that? So then he goes up to Coco and he's like, oh, hey, come here. Come on. Hello, look at me. I'm not threatening. I'm dressed in this nice country shirt. And she's like, oh, you look like a nice... Ah! He grabs her by the hair and pulls
yanks her into the car
while it's driving.
Yeah.
Again, don't catch wings after a long day of shooting. Like, he's ready to roll. He's like, so I get to grab her by the hair and pull her in the car? And then do I get to drive off while I'm doing it? They're like, Mr. Hauser, do we need do you need to take a minute?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Man, like, as he said, like, I'm not preparing for it. I'm just taking this for a walk. Oh, that's something I don't want to hear on set. Like, if he just shows up and he's like, oh, I have no clue what we're doing. They just gave me the fucking script. I'm just getting my pages daily. Like, I don't know what the fuck. They told me to just roll with it. Mean pimp is all they told me to do. So then we go to Wayne Manor. Okay, and the princess and Alfred roll up to this mansion where the job's taking place. And this is like one of those mansions you always see like behind, like when you drive around Hollywood and then you're taking like a Uber map, like you're taking an Uber, you're taking like some Google map and it brings you down a weird street and then you're like, who would live in these mansions in the middle of Hollywood?
Yeah.
This dude.
Yeah.
Batman. So he goes up, he like leads her into this mansion and up to a room, and then we just cut. Then Ramrod drops Coco off in a pile of trash, and her face is all bloody.
All cut up.
Yeah. Then we go back to Wayne Manor, and Princess goes inside with Alfred. Then Ramrod just kills some random dude trying to deliver newspapers.
That's right.
Like, what the fuck?
The guy's just like unloading newspapers from his truck, and Ramrod comes up behind him and throws him over the ledge of...
Like a stairwell.
It's a stairwell.
Which, by the way, where is he delivering newspapers? To the stairs? Like, does he have homeless customers or something? I was like, what is he doing?
It was interesting to see that, because these things, if you're not in LA, you don't know that at one point they thought it was a cool idea to build these underground like paths so people didn't have to cross the street.
Oh yeah.
But then clearly they built these probably in the 60s, and it probably took until the mid 80s for them to discover like, oh, that just means homeless people will sleep
live in them.
there.
A lot of them are locked up.
Yeah, so now there's
they lock them up at night.
Some are permanently locked up. They just have this huge like cage built over them, so you can.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what they do is they're by elementary schools. So we've noticed that they're by elementary schools, and what they do is during school hours they unlock them so the children can not have to cross the busy street, so they can go under. But I believe there's got to be some sort of like security guard at the bottom of that, because like we don't need a homeless person down there scaring the children.
Well, it's like fucking irreversible down there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It looks crazy down there. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't walk down there if it was unlocked.
Yeah.
Right.
So Ramrod throws a guy over a ledge, killing him, and steals his...
The kids on Monday are going to be real. Like, oh boy. It's filled with Ziggies and copies of Ziggy and a dead newspaper, dude. So then I just write, what in the world is the scene heading as Princess walks out of a room in a lingerie wedding outfit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. While the wedding march plays.
Yeah.
So it's like, here comes the bride.
I was in and out of sleep at this point, and I was like, did I miss a whole scene? Like, what happened here?
No, there's like candles lit everywhere. It's like Hell Night is what I wrote.
Yeah.
And suddenly the whole mansion is decorated for a wedding.
Right.
Yeah. It's a very busy driver while Princess got dressed.
And then she walks up, they're walking up to a room, she's like, what the fuck? He goes, shh, shh,
no talking.
No talking.
That was the deal. No talking. You can't say a word. She's like, and then he leads her into a room, locks the door, and she's in there with a coffin with like a fog machine in the back of it, billowing out fog out of the ground. And there's a man in the coffin.
And as Princess walks over, we briefly see a cameraman in the frame.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that.
Oh, you didn't notice?
No.
Yeah, like when she walks in there on the far right of the screen, you can see a cameraman.
Is this just like a candid camera? Like Dom DeLuise is going to pop out at some point?
Yeah, it's like, oh. And the wedding march turns into the funeral march.
Yeah.
Which I liked.
So I was like, wait, that music was diegetic? Like, I thought it was like actually part of the scene? I thought it was just the soundtrack. Then the dead man just pops up and goes, surprise! Ah! And she goes, what the fuck? And then he starts screaming. He goes, bring her away. She talked.
He calls it. He's like, the slut talked.
Yeah, he keeps calling her the slut.
Who is throwing around words now, sir?
So his fetish is to pretend he's dead and have a woman walk in with the what?
A wedding dress?
This is so specific that you know they didn't just come up with this.
Yes, and she can't talk. So, like, wait, he surprises her, like, because he popped out of the coffin and went, surprise! So she's just supposed to stand there, like, stone-faced as he
supposed to no-sell the zombie rise?
Yeah. Then where does it go from there?
We never know, and we'll never know.
Because he keeps saying, get the slut out of here, and then he takes her out, and then before she leaves, the driver says, are you working tomorrow? She's like, okay, shut up, I'm not doing this again. And he goes, no, it's my day off.
Wink, wink.
I'm like, man.
Jeeves needs a little himself.
Everybody wants some of that princess, you know? She's going to have a hard time leaving the business, you know, down in San Diego. That phone's going to be going off the hook, you know? It's like if a drug dealer left town, you know, moved to a different place, he's still getting calls from the same customer. He's like, man, I don't live there anymore.
We're not friends.
So then Ramrod, he delivers some newspapers, right? He's just driving around. I was like, how funny would it be if he just started doing like a paperboy run and like throwing papers through people's windows and shit? The Ramrod Tribune or something.
Making like Woody Woodpecker sounds as he does it.
And so then I would have liked it better if he stole like a paperboy bike. And this whole time, Ramrod's just riding around on a little bicycle, like E.T. style, you know? So then Coco crawls out of the trash pile into the street. Alma gets run over by a car, right? Do her legs not work or something? And then the cops catch her. They're like, they pick her up, and then on the radio, when Walsh and Edwards are in the car, you hear female Oriental has been picked up. And I was like, Rampart.
80s.
Yeah, 1982. I guess I don't think that was okay back then.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it was quote unquote okay.
Yeah, there's a guy, well, what am I supposed to call him? I don't know. All right. So then the cops drive to by Princess in a cab taking a nap, and she doesn't hear the loud sirens because she's had a long night, man.
It's a long night.
I mean, she has.
Like, yeah, because this is all one night.
Yeah.
So she, like, worked some jobs.
And this was apparently Coco's job.
Yeah.
So Coco's done this one a whole bunch, which is weird.
Well, yeah, like she needed a night off from the whole wedding zombie fetish thing.
So then Princess stops for a little late night stuffed animal shopping. There's like the only thing in this whole strip mall is like a burger stand, a payphone, and an outdoor, like some guy has set up folding tables full of stuffed animals.
Maybe it's supposed to be like her thinking about her daughter.
Well, it is because she buys a bunny,
Yeah.
and this is very Con Air, where she's like, you know, she has the bunny, she's getting on the Con Air, she's gonna see her. Then she goes to the phone booth to make a call, and she's like, "Look, Mom, I know it's really late, but I just wanted to talk to my daughter." And then the other hookers are there, and they're like, "Should we tell Princess about Ramrod getting out?" And they're like, "Oh my God, that's him!" And he like tries to run her over in the phone booth with his pickup truck, and he murders one of the hookers.
Yep.
And we don't even really see it. He just like hits a window, and apparently she dies or something.
Yeah, like he crushes her between like the window and
she doesn't even get a dignity of a full shot. They just go and off screen, she's dead.
Oh, that hooker died. Oh, it's also there's a weird bit of continuity here where when Walsh is on the radio, we see that the sun is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. It's like it has been a very long night.
Yeah.
But then it's back to like night for the next like hour of the movie.
But I do like this is that like so she's running away, but she's for some reason running in her heels and has the stuffed animal like above her head as she's running down an alleyway. Like, I don't want it to get dirty.
It's very Jurassic World.
Just like Bryce Dallas Howard running away from the T-Rex. What would you rather have to run away from, T-Rex or Ramrod? I don't know.
I feel like I can reason with a T-Rex.
Yeah.
So then Ramrod hits her with the car, and she leaves a shoe behind, I rate, just like Snow White.
Oh.
Cinderella.
Or Cinderella, yeah. Just like Cinderella. Another Disney movie, you know? So then, and a homeless man finds it.
Right, and I thought that would come up again. It does not.
Nope.
Does not come up again.
So then basically they he like brings her to he brings her like some sort of sex warehouse.
Savage Streets.
Yeah.
He takes her to the Savage Streets gang headquarters.
It's really weird. So we finally find out what's on the upper floors is that it's a sex dungeon thing. Also, it looked like where they shot pornos because I saw like a bunch of scrims and lights and stuff.
So my assumption is that Ramrod is involved with the pornos, and that's why
either that or snuff films.
Yeah.
Like, and also I was like, man, those are low rent pornos. They don't even have like a bed. It's just a mattress on the floor. And he like binds her up basically, and he's going to do the old coat hanger. He's like, this is my signature move. Yeah. Then the cops show up and take a long time. They're like, how do we get in that building? And they stand outside for like minutes as she's being tortured. And Walsh is like, is there an elevator? Or they're like, the elevator's turned off. He's like, shit. Is there like stairs or something?
Now, having recently had to deal with police, this is completely realistic.
They're just standing up. Do we knock on the door?
So, what should we do right now? Let's just wait around for a little bit.
Are you the one who got robbed? What did they take? All right. Yeah, because they're like, is there... And then Walsh is like, there's a fire escape. Hold on, let me get my car and drive to it.
Let me drive around the block.
He like backs up, does like a 3-point turn, goes to the fire escape, gets out. Then they like kind of walk up it and everything. And then by this time, Ramrod's already got a few... coat hanger slashes in. Yep. They break in. He shoots one of the cops.
Kowalski.
Yeah, he shoots Kowalski. It's a living. And then the other cops come in. Ramrod jumps out of a window. Then he just like runs around for a while. And for some reason, Walsh chases. It's like an unfair chase because, well, what happens though is that Ramrod takes a car.
Yeah, he steals a yellow van.
Yeah, he steals a yellow van. Interesting. I'm sure we all hear that sound, and it will come very soon. But the way he gets away is Ramrod runs into a freeway overpass. Like, he's all, I think this van will clear it. Smash, now it's a convertible. Guess it didn't. Then he just gets out and runs away, and then Walsh just chases him around with the car for a while.
We get some great late night South downtown LA. Savage Streets.
Yeah.
It's just like action.
Run time. We need a final shootout. But
I do like when Ramrod like sneaks through fencing and then sets up an ambush for Walsh and is waiting patiently. Walsh just drives through with the car and bursts through.
Yeah.
And
it's like
ruins
so
Ramrod's
funny to me.
plans.
It's like Walsh is like ironsiding it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, not going to get out of the car.
Nope.
Like, I'm just going to do this one from the car. The whole gunfight happens with Walsh never getting out of the car. And the end of it, he just pins Ramrod against the wall and then shoots him in the head.
Yep.
Before Ramrod shoots him. Then he goes back to Princess holding the bunny. So he's got...
I do like that.
It's just like the end of Con Air.
I love it because it's like Walsh like, oh... I've got this bunny. Oh, I'm going to approach Princess, who I'm a little bit sweet on.
Maybe we'll have another hot dog.
Yeah, I'm going to give this back to her. And Princess is like, it's got fucking blood on it, Walsh. I can't give it to my kid now.
Yeah, that's what she says to him. And she goes, Walsh, you're so dumb. You think you can change the streets. And then he walks away dejected. I'm like, man, what a bummer. Like, he just saves the day. And you're like, yeah, fuck you, though. You won't change anything. And it just kind of Iris is done.
Yeah.
And that's the movie. Vice Squad. So would you guys recommend this movie at all?
Yeah, I actually liked it okay.
I would say the story is it's got plenty of holes in it, but the performances are very good.
Yeah. There's interesting side characters too.
It reminded me a lot of like an early Blue Velvet.
Sure.
Like
maybe not as self-aware as Blue Velvet is.
No.
At all.
But if you ever wanted to see like what a soap opera actor's like, if you make them film after 3.5 years of being on the same show all night, I guess this would be it.
Yeah. I really like this movie a lot. I think it is, all the performances are great from a cast that you, for the most part, are not familiar with at all.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're, because it's also like Wings Hauser, you might be familiar with some of his work from other movies. This is a very strong and like interesting performance from him. So it's not like watching, like, it's not Wings Hauser that you're used to. And the female lead, is her name Season?
Yeah.
Seasons,
yeah. Seasons
like,
Hubley.
Yeah, even if she is the poor man's Jamie Lee Curtis, she's really good in this movie. And Walsh, as the cop,
Yeah, he's good.
He's a poor man's William Peterson. He is still really good. There's no like glaring flaws in this movie in a way that like it's not like a so bad it's good. It's just I think it's a really solid movie from its era.
Yeah, it's like any sort of like police actioner.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah.
I
Not
think this
great.
is the first time I've ever been a yes on this show.
I think you recommended For Your Height Only. So.
Oh, that's true. I did like
but
that
that's
one.
Wang Wang. So what are you going to do?
Wang Wang.
Man, Wings and Wang Wang. That would be quite
That'd
a
be
duo.
an unstoppable duo.
Wang Wang as Wing.
Yeah.
So you hear that sound? How do you think Bobby and DeVito fit in the world of Vice Squad? Tanner looks like he has something to say.
You know, I think it would be very easy to do the yellow van from the end.
Yeah.
But I'm going to mix things up. I don't know how yet. But I'm going to riff here for a moment and see if it comes to me. Maybe this is a few years later. It's Hollywood. I think we do not see Princess's daughter's father. I think she might have gone by another name. Sally Johnson. But you know, no knock on the lady, but Sally Johnson had a great set of knockers. Princess, not so much. I think it's been a rough time, and she might have sold those beautiful knockers.
Oh no!
To
sold
pay,
them?
Yeah, to pay
now
for the
I've heard of
funeral for her
sold-
late husband, Bobby.
Oh wow!
He died tragically. Oh. She's a single mom, just trying to make her way in the world today with her daughter, Bobina.
Now here's the thing. Ramrod has curly hair, right? No. And I'm thinking this is 1982. You know, Bobby kind of like an incel type of character for a little bit. You know, in 1978. Then he kind of, you know, he got into that weed. You know.
Gateway drug.
As we all know, it's gateway drug, right? He started getting into huffing oxygen and getting real crazy, right? He's hanging out on Hollywood Boulevard a little too much. He says, I'm going to trade in my van for a Bronco and start wearing these Howdy Doody shirts. And, well, instead of hitting on girls, he started hitting girls. So, I think that Bobby is Ramrod.
Oh, all right.
I can see it for sure, yeah. And DeVito, well, he went with that leather biker guy. He found his true self.
I think DeVito might have become a Sugar Pimp.
What if they went to go break into the Sugar Pimp? It's just DeVito
eating a steak in a robe and boxers on a couch.
What do you think, Bobby?
What do you think, Bobby?
How do you think Bobby and DeVito fit
this movie?
She doesn't know.
What would Bronson do?
Yeah, what do you think, Charles? How do you think Charles Bronson would handle this one?
He'd murder everybody.
You know that shoot first thing?
Yeah.
Well, as we know, Bronson has said when he worked for the LA Police Department that he has problems with all sorts of minority people.
That's true.
He's not sympathetic to the Asian American community, is what he said in Kinjite, or any other community for that matter. Yeah, don't think anybody survived. I think he'd take one step into that police station and be like, getting a little different around here, 1982.
I think he would grab Ramrod and then grab that pimp stick and say, what is this for? Checking off? And then he would beat him with it.
Well, guys, Tanner, do you have anything to promote while you're here?
While I'm here, I can promote Junior Braves of the Apocalypse Volume 2 is available for pre-order now. It is set for release in early August. So if you are interested in reading the further adventures of the Junior Braves as they travel through the zombie mutant apocalypse, please ask your local bookstore or comic book store to pre-order it, or you can order it online from Amazon. Not Amazon, but BarnesandNoble.com. You can order from Amazon, but they're a terrible company. Do whatever you want. Live your lives.
Man, shots fired. Do you have a website where they could just go to?
Yeah, you can go to buymichaeltanner.com for more information. But pre-orders help immensely, so if you can pre-order it through official means, through bookstores or comic book stores, that helps a lot.
All right. Well, Junior Braves of the Apocalypse, Volume 2.
Volume 2, Out of the Woods.
2. All right. And Molly and I just finished working the principal photography on the short film we crowdfunded.
That so many of you helped promote and fund. It's all principal photography is done, and now we're working on post.
Yes, so thank you again for donating to the project. It's coming along great, and can't wait to start showing you guys some of that stuff. So,
I'm the devil, baby. I'll burn you down. I don't think that's the actual line, but it's my favorite part.
So, Bobby,
ask for the golden showers.
Fade into black, the streets come alive. That big city monster just opened his eyes. The hustle, the muscle, the chrome and the steel. Got what I want, baby, let's make that deal. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, talking about crime. Somebody just bought it in a neon slime. Everybody's drowning in the neon slime. You see, I'm the survivor, and I know how it feels to be part of the nighttime where everything is real. The music, the violence, the sex, the sweet smell. I'm a stone cold believer in the pleasures of hell. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, feeling just fine. Been baptized in the river of the neon slime. Yes, it's real, it's your special dream. Larger than life, it's gonna make you wanna scream. It's the latest rage and the latest hit. Now here it comes, you ask for it. It'll bring you pleasure and bring you some pain. But I promise you this, you'll never be the same. Come taste my honey and taste my wine. Come touch my soul at the end of the line. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, talking about crime. Everybody's swimming in the neon slime. The streets are flowing with neon slime. Everybody, 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 everybody walking on neon slime. That neon slime, the neon, the neon slime.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I mean the key. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
What is that, Knocker? I don't know.
Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.
Hello, Mr. Man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creamed. And